Amazing. Rocky, want to see you.
I really don't think they flew 90 billion light years to start a fight.
Sunset chill days so long gone, can't bring them back, no magic wand. Counting white cotton clouds, painted on the blue sky's shroud. And yet somehow that way it's baked with eternal hopeful flair. Pineapple pizza, Hawaiian ice creams, yeah. Can't wait to be up 3 days of you and me. I'm
failing!
I just can't wait for 3 days of you and me.
He's been cited by Forbes, The Wall Street Journal, Benny Johnson, Timcast, Dr. Jordan Peterson, and even the U.S. government.
But soon they'll wake up to see the summer sizzle in me.
We're doomed. Will this never end?
Direwolf's back and so are you.
Oh yeah,
Belvedere flying over the moon.
oh yeah.
And everyone's singing just the right tune. Maestro blasting on the jazz flute.
We are all participating in mandatory fun activities.
Jelly bean bonus, every flavor in the bag. Super movie star, but first gotta join SAG.
Keep our eyes open.
Wunderkind, super friend, where are you? Get a search warrant for the near clear blue.
It's scooping time.
And can't you believe that? We've been waiting on you, can't you see that? Put away the bad things they said to you.
You are a sad, strange little man. Have my
After all, just have to call and say you're some kind of
Because you are the special.
epic. Epic, yeah, that's what you do. I'm talking about epic, it's all you know how to do.
You wake up blue to
Epic, it's on repeat for you. Oh, epic. Epic.
Hear ye, come on, to the never stopping daily strife, and it's called simpler times, they beckon so, floating on the water with no foam. Can we get away now, find a way now, somehow step out of this stream into a dream of slow it down. Jay says that he remembers a place before the never, ever river severed our tranquility. Counting cars by Highway 30, sitting in the porch swing, guessing colors so poorly. Yeah. Is the next one a blue or red one? Maybe silver, maybe gray. What a way to spend a day.
Ladies and
and gentlemen, it's the WDW Pro Show! Jonas J. Campbell on behalf of the assembly that has gathered together today on this BEA Beautiful Thursday, where I'll be doing a Supergirl review live out of the theater tonight. Jonas, I speak on behalf of all. We love the new Avatar. It's great, it's grand, but, sir, we want Jonas back.
Baby born on the brownstone steps. Harlem hit him with the right kind of death. No matter in the world where he goes away, can't take the soul out of his way.
No! So all I'm saying, Jonas, is, and you're muted, but all I'm saying is, you don't have to stay forever as old Jonas, but I know you have the ability. I know you have the power. Could you just a little taste, just a little old Jonas for a minute, for old time's sakes?
Reminded of Nacho Libre. Don't you want to know what it tastes like?
Please, just a little bit of old Jonas, por favor.
Maybe, perhaps, por favor. You know, I'm not exactly sure how this machine works, so I'll see what I can work out.
If we could, just for a minute, just to remember the good times, Jonas, all the times we had together when you looked.
What if I looked like this? I think that the audience would love that.
We got to get somebody else in here. I got to have somebody else. I can't do this whole show with just you. No, not gonna work. I got to have somebody else. Vera, will you please come save the day?
I like the hat.
Thank you. It's Soviet, but I'm defecting.
Yeah.
He's been encouraged. It's never going to stop.
All right. Fine.
No, it's not.
Wait, what? No, we wanted old Jonas.
Oh, he went
well, I guess
back.
this is like 30 seconds old Jonas. That
somewhere in here. Is this really a thing we need right now?
Somewhere over the Jonas. All right, well, folks, we've got a show to do.
How about that?
Oh, now that feels comfy. You don't have to stay that way. We just
the good old times.
Nostalgia, you know, back when you turned him into a ghost.
No, there it is. Does that feel better?
Okay, wait. Pause. How many Jonases do you have?
Quite a few at this point. Let's see here. We got the Canadian Bear one for if
Canadian Bear Jonas. Okay.
Super chat on the Monday.
Is this like Fortnite skins for you? You've got like 100 different Jonases.
Yeah. We got that one. We got the St. Patrick's Day, the Deal With It variant. You've seen the Ghost. You've seen the real Obi-Wan. We got this fellow that everybody hated. Like,
wait, why does everybody hate that guy? That's Chris Pratt. Go back to him. That's Chris Pratt.
Yeah, he does.
You ripped off Chris Pratt's face.
And there's this one that everyone said looked like Krieger from Archer, and everyone hated that one. There's this one that I can only bring out occasionally on a stream.
I like the Hunt for Red October one.
I think it's one that has an allure to it. Allure? Nah, that didn't work.
I'm going to start calling you Mystique. You have so many different versions of you.
Oh, just wait for it.
Shut up, you. Get out of here.
There we go.
All right. Well, Jonas, we've got so many super chats waiting for. Oh my gosh. I did not look at this. We have 21 super chats.
We do. And most of it is due to.
Shut up, Pro. Shut up, you. Get to the super chats. Let's go.
All right. First of all, we got Mark Fields for $2. Positive vibes, you beautiful people.
And good vibes to you.
That's fantastic. Packing Protons for $5. With the Sonic guy in charge of TMNT, I have far more hope than I would have otherwise, but it would take a lot to get me excited now. I know that we were going to be talking about TMNT. I didn't realize that. Is it Neil Moritz that's in charge of TMNT now?
Could be.
I think so.
Oh man, that's fantastic. He does a great job on the Sonic stuff.
I'll just give a preview to folks. We're going to be talking today about Paramount, Skydance, the Ellisons. They may already be sick of this situation with DC. and they're ready to start throwing money to other franchises that they can live off of. And it looks like Turtles is going to be the beneficiary of that.
There's someone that we have on the channel on occasion that is well on record as saying that he likes Turtles. So
I like Turtles.
Packing Protons for $5. Don't forget to watch The Gate. Caro might like that one too. Check The Gate. Is that what we're saying?
Always check The Gate.
Yeah. Packing Protons for $5 more. You're at 15 already, buddy. This is your news item. A new live theatrical event, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles live on stage, has been announced.
I would love.
It is, yeah.
I would love to see. What is it called, Jonas? What's the musical thing?
Out of Our Shells.
Coming out of our shells.
Yeah.
What's a great song if they bring any of those back with the guitar?
We need some skipping stones. You probably have a better one than I do.
Who you gonna call? Who you gonna call? Who you gonna call? Who you gonna call?
Thank you, Packing.
Yep. Let's see what else we got here. Daniel Alpine for 10 American dollars. It's clear that you all are AI cheerleaders who don't care about corporate executives hoarding all the cash, while honest, hardworking people as me starve on the streets because of AI. And then for 5 more, and I will never befriend AI because it would still be selling my soul to the devil, for AI was born from greed. And then 10 more. The fact that you think people won't care if a movie was full AI is disturbing. It has no understanding of putting passion and feeling into a work of art. I'd rather watch Jaws 4 than any AI film. And for $10 more, and don't give me, it's just a tool, because it's still AI and it's still wrong. That would be thinking greed is good if it's for good intentions, but it's still selfish. All right. So let's say that's 10, 20, 30, and 35 to tell us that Daniel Alpine does not like AI very much.
I get the feeling doesn't.
You're
I would
definitely entitled to that opinion for sure. No respect,
Yeah, and communication made to the audience out there for how you feel about it. But I would say that for people who were riding horses or selling coaches back in the day, that they felt the same way about the automobile. I would say that for people who were watching as Photoshop came out, and they were photographers who worked very hard to get the perfect shot every single time, Photoshop came out and they said this is cheating. There's a little bit of a difference in AI and those analogies, because AI is going to reach the point where it can be far more autonomous. And of course, there's the component of AI where it's recursive and it can be to some degree self-sufficient. All that said, we're not advocates, at least I'm not. Jonas may be. Jonas clearly is. Jonas is the only one who's an advocate of AI dominating humanity and having films that have no human touch on them. I think that would be crazy.
If this is part of my platform for political office is AI overlords for everyone I don't like, and a couple I do.
You're just trying to find a way to survive when they take over. No, I think if we're developing AI to drive humans extinct from whatever industries, I think that's crazy, unless it's digging ditches, in which case I don't think anybody really wants to dig a ditch, but let the robots do it. But so that's kind of my position is, I think if we cause ourselves to not have purpose, that's insane. I also think that in the age of AI, that people will find live entertainment to be the premier source of going out in leisure. So I think that theater will thrive. I think local theater will thrive. I think concerts will thrive. Just like right now, let me put it this way. Right now, and Vera, you tell me if I'm wrong about this, chess, there's no way any human can beat a computer like the top-end computer models in chess. It'll win every single time. Same thing in Go, the Chinese game that's far more complex. But we don't watch computers play each other in chess. Nobody would. There are still human chess tournaments, because it turns out we actually care about the humans who are playing the chess, and that's where the fun is, not in the fact that computers are far superior.
Yeah, exactly. It's like there's been people speculating on, if completely AI made video games will end up happening, but a lot of people don't want to sit there and make their own game and prompt their own game. Part of playing a video game is the excitement. It's new, it's special. Same thing with watching, movies and just entertainment in general. And, I know that he addresses it. I think that AI is an okay tool, but when it starts replacing people, it is a very different situation. And ultimately, when it comes to movies and entertainment, people are always going to lean into something that is created by a human.
That's right.
Yeah,
and
I'm 100% in agreement on this. I actually got the chance to sit down with somebody who is an award-winning musician. They've there's a thing called an EGOT, and they're part of the way to it. And we were having a discussion on AI. And when you think about these movies, like you bring up Jaws 4, Jaws is an amazing story of how a film was made despite everything going wrong. And everybody loves that about Jaws. When you think about a musician like, say, the music group Lawrence, which is a guy kind of sounds like Randy Newman-ish with maybe a different quality to him, and his sister, she has like Aretha Franklin level vocals. I know that's controversial.
R-E-S-P-E-C-T. Tell me what it means. Wait, that's Bob Dylan. Sorry.
Bob Dylan there, yeah.
Sorry, I switched to Dylan instead of Newman.
Yeah, but
you got a friend in me.
I've said the same thing on this channel before. When you start to look up an AI artist, you find out they're an AI artist, and that's the end of the conversation. If you find a musical artist and you hear their story and you want to know more about this person and where they come from and all of that. So, art is art, and the story around the Mona Lisa is more interesting than the painting itself. I know that there's probably someone out there that appreciates the painting in a different way. The Nike of Samothrace, that is an interesting piece from the story around it, more than just, okay, well, somebody could reproduce it with a 3D model, and the interesting thing about it would still be the story of the original piece of art, or the Venus de Milo. The arms being gone is the interesting thing about this wonderfully crafted work of art that was crafted by humans. If somebody 3D prints that, nobody cares. If AI generates it, nobody cares. Unless you're making a theme park attraction or something like that. So I'm not doom and gloom about AI. I just think it'll clarify the craftsmen and the hacks from the artists.
All of that said, if AI solves cancer in the next 2 years, I think we're all going to get the pom-poms ready and say, hey, we found a good use for this thing.
Yeah. And Daniel Alpine, we don't want you to be replaced. The first Dragon Queen for 5. If the goal is achieved, new person in the bear suit will be released. I love the threat of people in bear suits and bears being released here, because it sounds very ominous. In the meantime, I'll be working on Evil Sesame Seed Man. Hugs for all. Thank you very much.
And hugs to you. Thank you, First Dragon Queen. And you know what? It's been a while since we played the clip. Let's do it for the Dragon Queen.
Return! The Dragon Queen!
That's right. Let's see here. Flying Blind on a Rocket Cycle gifted 5 WDW Pro memberships.
Thank you, Flying Blind.
7 steps, all 7 steps ahead.
Taking us to the stars.
All right. Stormweaver, I'm gonna get as many of these in a row as I can.
Jonas, the task is up to you. Do it right, sir.
For let's see, good morning, or should I say good afternoon, WDW Pro and Jonas J. Campbell and Vera. Thank you very much. And that is 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, and $55. Thank you very much, Stormweaver. That's a very generous way to say good morning.
Fitty D, the gauntlet has been laid down. Stormweaver coming in and lifting up the hamsters in the studio. We're shining because of all of you. Thank you, Stormweaver.
No, it can't be.
But it is Stormweaver.
Perfect. Wahoo! See, I think you should change it and be like Stormweaver.
Is that copyright somehow?
It probably is, yeah.
Oh,
Lord
darn.
Matawig for $5. I personally consider Paramount and Warner Brothers as a payback against Disney for Fox. Yes, that's a good way to look at it.
I'll go with it.
Yep. James All Day TV for $2. Paramount should have Brad Bird do the TMNT films. Dude, be killer.
I think I should be selected. It should be me. I will just drop everything and straight into Leo, Donnie, Raph, and Mike, and here we go. Vera, they're saying out there, by the way, you should play April O'Neil.
I'm flattered. Truly. More accurate than the last April O'Neil we got, that's for sure.
So you're saying that you will be going after the show to grab a giant yellow jumpsuit?
I'd never say never, I guess.
Cargo pockets. Yep.
Never say never.
What was the last thing that Brad Bird even did, though?
He is working on a movie called Ray Gunn for Skydance Animation. That's coming out at the end of this year. Yeah, he went and joined Lasseter over there. So,
gotcha.
Yep.
I was gonna say I haven't heard him. I haven't heard his name in a while, but that's why.
Let's see. I think he did. He did Incredibles 2 before leaving.
Jonas,
he did.
Jonas, I'm required to read this one.
Okay, go ahead.
I have been told that my voice for Magical Girl Jonas is actually the unicorns from Charlie the Unicorn. So,
there you go. There you go. Go ahead, please.
Magical Girl Jonas for $1.99. May everyone a love-filled day. Oh, may everyone have a love-filled day, Charlie. Sparkles, Charlie. Thank you, Magical Girl Jonas. That's right. Oh, they took my kidney.
WDW Pro Van for $5. Nothing to say other than what are your future live events we can all see you in person at?
You know, Jonas, I was waiting for this because have you heard about Southeast Game Exchange coming to Greenville, South Carolina, July 17th through 19th? Folks, you can see us Friday, Saturday, and Sunday as we release a brand new video game we've been working on behind the scenes at Southeast Game Exchange. Nerdrotic, Critical Drinker, Fake Wizard, Marv, Jonas, me, Valiant Renegade, Force of Light, Culture Casino, the list goes on and on. Lorne Connor will be there. Everybody who's anybody, the entire nation will be gathered in South Carolina.
Actually, I think you're underselling the name of the event. What was the name of the event that we had?
Southeast Game Exchange. Siege, sir. What did I say?
There was something. There was a much more patriotic name that we had.
We're not supposed to say that yet, Jonas. That's super secret marketing material.
Right. Sorry, but
that's next week.
We'll be at
quiet. You.
Thank you very much, WDW Pro Fan. Mark of Reality for $5. Getting sick of the hypocrisy. Well, that's the worst part, according to Norm Macdonald. Criticize Millie as Supergirl. You're a misogynist, but they can go after Evie from Stellar Blade 2 all day long. Well, she's a child. That's what I've heard, at least. I don't know. I'm not engaging in this Stellar Blade 2 discussion.
Evie is 23 to 25.
Yeah. She just looks like a kid, probably because she's an Asian woman.
Yep. I spoke to the Shift Up CEO, and he confirmed that she's 23 to 25. And of course, like the model that they're using is an adult, and she is the same age. So.
Yep. That tired old argument of no woman actually looks like this. That's easily disproven every single time.
And I'll say, Mark, you're going to love the first story. You're going to love the first story on today's show.
Let's see here. Kaylee out for $5. Cast Veridark as April O'Neil in TMNT. It plays into the better TMNT graphic novel story that was quite graphic and still expensive to acquire today. You know, I'm seeing reprints of TMNT graphic novels on like reprints, so not trying to do the collector's thing here, going for a pretty decent rate on Amazon. I don't know. Let's see here. M. Miller for 14 South African Rand. DC just announced new shows, Joker, I'm going to say Crypto, and Batman. So Absolute Batman, of course, a Crypto series because James Gunn needs to like live on that high forever. And yet another what if the Joker was without Batman story. So
and these are all animated, is that correct?
Those are all animated.
And so if they're all animated, they were probably already in development the last year and are just now being announced. Is that right?
Probably.
Yeah. My major problem with the Joker Laugh Riot one is it doesn't sound like a bad idea. My issue is that it's Sola Entertainment, which did War of the Rohirrim, which was such a destruction of Tolkien's creation, and they turned it into like a massive feminist flick, which I hated.
I still haven't seen it. I've had a copy of it for quite some time.
I mean, if you're able to look the other way, I guess it's just not a bad standalone movie, but I'm unable to look the other way.
Right.
So you're saying that James Gunn has excellent taste in picking studios and talent to come in.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Totally.
Way to go, James. Keep it going, James. You're totally not done.
All right. One more, and let's do some stories. Albertus Magnus for $2. Jonas's avatar is looking unwell.
I think this is when you were a ghost.
Oh, yeah.
You look very healthy there.
Maybe a little too healthy. You know what I'm saying?
I don't know what you're saying. Never mind, folks. Let's just move on. We got a story to talk about, and we got lots of news to hit. Let's hit it. Let's win it for you. Folks, we need you to click that like button, and it's time for the simultaneous sip. Vera, do you have anything to drink today?
All I have is some Sprite, some sugar-free Sprite.
Sprite Zero. Hey, no shaming here.
Want
Jonas, what are we?
Refreshing.
Jonas, what are we imbibing today at the Jonas J. Campbell household?
Strawberry lemon poppy.
Come again?
Strawberry lemon poppy.
No, wait a minute. Hold on a second. Did you just take a drink before the sip?
Yes, he did.
I'm gonna
You
click it again.
son of a gun.
It was going to spill over.
No, it was not. We could hear the fizz if there was fizz.
I'm going to tell you
You're a
what.
jerk. You're a freaking jerk. You know that?
Ruined it.
Ladies and gentlemen, I know you all are not cheaters like Jonas. Freaking jerk. Folks, click the like button. Click the like button, please, and let's take a sip together. Here we go indeed. I've got mocha again because last
stole
night
his first sip, so you
was
can't
so good.
join.
There you
Now
go.
he's making extra slurpy sounds just so he can
Right.
prove that he's in. Uh-huh. You freaking jerk. All right. One super chat just came in. Let's grab it before we hit the news.
Archer Merchant for $2. The Supergirl defenses just seem so manufactured that they are.
I could not go into this next segment without reading that because it's so apropos for where we're going to go. All right, Jonas, it's time. Let's hit it.
All right.
Did it say drinking poopy?
No, I've lost respect for you drinking poppy. I stopped drinking soda. It's just
This is why things that could look like that word you should not put up on the screen for like 1 second and remove them. It flashed before my eyes.
Yes, poop again. Yeah, that's right.
Super Shills are shilling for Supergirl, but it's stealing their prosperity, taking away their spotlight, and making their brands collapse, just like the franchise James Gunn is in charge of. Why would that be happening? Well, we've got here from hashtag Restore the Snyderverse. You got to love it. This interview with Millie Alcock. Before we show you how bad things are, I want you to see this is who they're trying to save. This is who they're trying to defend. This wonderful young lady.
It'd be funny to take Superman to the club because she would just have fun teasing him the entire time. Yeah. She would probably like spike his drink. You know what I mean?
You know what I mean? She's so much fun. She's great at marketing. She's great. Joe Russo. Folks, let's go through the shills right now. Joe Russo is out there. Says, on behalf of all men, I would like to apologize to Millie Alcock for my gender being the absolute worst to her.
Oh, my.
Sounds like you're super in this movie, girl. Can't wait. Joe Russo. It gets worse.
No one should apologize on behalf of an entire gender or class of person or anything like that. Ever.
It gets worse.
Unless it's hilarious. Then go ahead. Sure.
Because here's the thing, Jonas. Here's the thing. You know, the shills, it's easy for them when a movie is just bad. Like if it's good or if it's mediocre, that's fine. But if it's bad, they're still okay. When it's terrible, they're really stuck because then they're exposed as the shills they are. Here's Angry Joe, once the owner and proprietor of a venerable YouTube channel, which is in the past 5, 6, 7 years been destroyed by his own hubris. Here's Angry Joe trying to make you go see Supergirl. Begging.
I am looking forward to it, and I hope it does well. Please go out and support it. Please go out and support it. Go out and support your boy, okay? You go out and watch the movie, you're supporting what your boy likes and making me happy, okay?
Is he wearing the Supergirl costume?
Yes, he is.
He looks super stupid.
Also push I would not be pushing that emblem together. By the way, that creates an odd image for a man.
Now, Joe Vargas, who is Angry Joe, he's taking a lot of heat for that because he's basically begging. And, you know, there is a limit, I would say, to shilling. And begging people and saying, please go, what is what your boy likes? Come on, support what your boy likes. I mean, you talk about just groveling. Well, he's taken some hits. You know, here's Nerdrotic's thumbnail making fun of this, and we love it. Great job, Gary. I mean, it's just tremendous. And here's Angry Joe's response. LOL, my tweet triggered Nerdrotic. So much he had to make a video too. Yet not once does he address my point. Instead, he strawmans that Hollywood is bad, and I'm just defending DC and Supergirl. Brother, what? Stop lying about me to your audience, Gary. How about you speak to me directly instead of taking cheap shots on your daily political news channel? Oh, because it will ruin your narrative? All we need now is the critical drinker to make a video too. Here's my tweet that hurt y'all's feelings so much on Supergirl so you can pick it apart for 40 more minutes, or you can just call me up. This is like a pathology. I'm going to play it again. There is nothing deeper than this is silly to wear the actual costume and beg people to go see a movie you didn't make. And it wouldn't matter. Like, imagine if I came on my show and I was dressed like Woody the Cowboy and I said, howdy ho, partners. Please go watch Toy Story 5. I'm begging you. I need you to go see Toy. Do it for Pro. Do it for Pro. I love it, okay? You love what Pro loves, too. Let's go see Woody and Buzz. It would be like too much.
Why would you wear the Woody costume? I thought we would be matching the theme and you'd be wearing the Jessie the Cowgirl costume.
You got me there.
I am looking forward to it, and I hope it does well. Please go out and support it. Please go out and support it. Go out and support your boy, okay? You go out and watch the movie, you're supporting what your boy likes.
What your boy likes.
I completely understand if you are behind something. Maybe you were a writer or a creator or a director or somebody who worked on it, who's going, yeah, you know, I put my heart and my soul into this, go and watch it. I'd really appreciate it. But in this case, he just wants to keep media access. He wants to stay in the good graces of Hollywood. And ultimately, he wants to prove that the entertainment he likes is what's successful, even though it clearly isn't, because now he has a track record of supporting movies that have completely flopped. And sure, I understand if you like Supergirl or Superman, you know, when a new Batman movie comes out, I'm always so hyped for it because I absolutely love Batman. But at the same time, he's not doing this just because he loves the content. He's doing it because he wants to keep that access.
Somebody gets this. Vera, that's exactly right. And I want to show you the difference, okay? Because we call balls and strikes here. And I give a hard time to somebody. It's a somebody. This is not Scotty, okay? Mendelsohn, you're not getting let off the mat right now. But Grace Randolph, sometimes she takes the hits here. And listen, it's all in fun, right? Grace Randolph has some quirky takes sometimes, and you know. But I want you to see that at least Grace cares. At least she cares about her brand, and she's trying to save it. Because Grace still has enough common sense to say, no, I'm not going to fall down on my sword for Millie Alcock. So Grace Randolph writes, hashtag Supergirl review, no spoilers, an epic failure on the level of Birds of Prey, Thor Love and Thunder, and dare I say it, Snow White.
Wow. Wow. Hey, Grace. Does Grace want to be on the channel as a regular panelist? She sounds like right in our line of thinking over here, you know?
Changing her tune.
I mean, first of all, Thor Love and Thunder, I finally did watch it. That is a truly, truly awful movie. Snow White is the most fun I've had in a theater in a very long time, trying to keep from laughing so I didn't ruin it for the little kids that were in the theater with me. But Birds of Prey, that's the first time I've heard Birds of Prey referenced in, I feel like, 10 years.
Well, what I'd like to talk about with you guys, if it's okay, is we have watched channels be destroyed, decimated by being Star Wars shills. I mean, we play the videos of the shills, right? They've lost their audiences. They've lost their credibility. They've lost their influence. It turns out that if you try to be an influencer for a corporation and your influence is used in an inauthentic way, it catches up with you. And Vera, I'll go to you as an expert in this area. What do you think about the idea that there are influencers trying to shill for DC, and they're destroying their futures because of it.
I think it's, of course, pretty pathetic that they need validation so desperately. It's perfectly fine if you like what DC's doing. Everyone's going to have their own opinion. I might love something, you might hate it, vice versa. But the reason why a lot of these channels were successful in the first place is because they were authentic. They were just people who loved the movies, TV shows, video games, comics, whatever it might be. But over the years, they have realized that they could make a living off of that. And I know being an influencer and a content creator is obviously something a lot of people want to do. It is a blessing to have as a job, but then they decide to prioritize the companies before their, fans, and it never really works out for them.
Let me go to Jonas on this. Jonas, is this sort of the content creator version of totally selling your soul? And do audiences catch up on this? How effective is this? Does this move for Angry Joe? Does this move anybody into going to see Supergirl, or is it just a detriment to him to do this and to pick a fight over it?
I don't know. I haven't looked at the view count on Angry Joe in a very long time. Angry Joe, his entire brand used to be that he hates things, and apparently politics ruined that for him. Now he's got to say that he's in line with everything. Maybe he got a little bit of access, and now he's just addicted to shilling for mediocre content to where
The thing with Supergirl is that he said that he didn't like it. He put up reviews. Yeah, he put up reviews today saying that it's got plot holes, it's messy, it's flawed. So this was clearly before he went and saw it. So he was pushing to his audience to go and blindly watch something because he likes it. But then he turned around and said, haha, just kidding. After you've spent your money or bought your tickets, I actually don't like it.
So he's talking out of both sides of his mouth.
Yeah, he's trying to play both sides.
Oh, see, this is this is the whole thing about the internet. Opinions can change, and that's fine. And people will be mad at you for your opinion changing on the internet, and that's totally fine. That happens. It's part of the whole growth of any conversation around something. I liked The Last Jedi a lot more until I thought about it. Right? I liked Force Awakens until I thought about it. With something like this, he's basically saying for the cause, you need to go see this movie,
right? For the political cause, for the ideological cause,
or even for the simple, it serves my financial interests for you to go see this movie.
There's a better way to do this, though. There's a more daft way of doing this. You at least be nuanced. Don't put on the
no. He's definitely doing it in the daft way. He needs to do it in the
daft. Well played. Way. Yeah, exactly. Play some Scrabble, Pro. So the deal is, though, if you do it this way, it's obvious. I mean, the grift is for real. When you put on the costume and you beg people, please go see it for me. Please go see it. Make your boy happy. I think you should know the backlash is coming. You should know people are going to mock you, and it likely should be that way. Because you've sold your soul, you're no longer authentic, and nobody can trust whatever you say. It is 1,000% obvious you have become a tool for the corporations. And who in the world wants to be a content creator who has become a tool for corporations? We may poo-poo Disney sometimes, but we're not angry around here, are we? We're not angry pro. We're not that, Jonas.
Oh no!
We're happy.
Actually, it's kind of irritating sometimes. Something that happens that should make you very angry, and you just chill.
Chill.
Yeah.
Drink your
Chef Eddie for $5. What happened to Ewan McGregor? He has really let himself go. Well, thank you. Packing Protons for $2. Jonas's AI. He clearly is not real. Correct.
Has been the whole time.
Yep. I'm an emergency live streaming hologram. Flying blind on a rocket cycle for $5. Speaking on behalf of Lines from Movies, I apologize for not praising Wilton enough and not calling for Pro to interrupt Jonas more often.
The only reason we interrupt Jonas is to give the AI a difficult time. It doesn't know what to do when we jump in while it's still formulating the response.
Oh, absolutely right. I'm glad you.
Which,
caught
by the
that.
way, ladies and
That's
gentlemen,
on
let me
me.
tell you, we call him Tamagotchi Jonas around here.
Yep, absolutely.
It's a
correct.
beautiful
That's what I
thing.
mean. Good catch. Albertus Magnus for $5. The notion of begging for customers is rather absurd. If your movie can't draw paying customers, go back to the typewriter and try again. Go get a job, JR. Who's JR?
I'm just saying. I'm just saying that it's the most ineffective way of trying to sell something. It is completely and totally ineffective to beg. It has the opposite effect. So DC really should be. It shouldn't be Angry Joe. It should be Angry DC at Joe for making this so slurpy, syrupy, silly, and just too much.
Arger Merger for $2. You'll know Angry Joe sold out if he doesn't rant GTA 6. He's probably getting a free copy. What are you talking about?
Probably.
Yeah.
I saw a great clip that I couldn't get onto the channel talking about GTA 6. I'll save it for a later date. Butterbiscuit 92, a member for 30 months. Look at that.
Hang on, before you read it, we got to play the Butterbiscuit clip. We haven't played Butterbiscuits in forever. Butterbiscuit, it's for you.
This sunny side up sort of day. Hooray.
It's the evil biscuit twin at the end that gets me. But you didn't read it.
Oh, yeah. Sorry. Pro, how many of those suits do you have? I hope they're getting dry cleaned, and how on brand you're being, not wearing anything else. LOL. You even wear it to the theme parks. That's real dedication. You rock, sir. I'm just going to say, for Pro's sake, and I've seen it. He has multiples, many multiples of the hats and the jackets, and they do get dry cleaned.
And that's right. I was going to say, quite a few of them right now are at the dry cleaners. After I was in Florida, and it was a heat wave, and the AC unit in the where we were doing the mobile studio could not keep up. It kept the temperature low enough, but the humidity was bad. And so when we got back, I was like, we're going to the dry cleaner with these suits now.
Yep.
112 on the end. No, it wasn't 112 in the studio. It was easily 80 though.
Although this is also confirmation that WDW Pro is insane. So just so you
know. Hey, I'll tell you this though, Jonas, the AC units all across Walt Disney World are failing. So
that's very true.
The heat wave is destroyed. So Wilderness Lodge, their entire AC unit went down. They're replacing that. What's the other one that just went down? There's another one that they're taking down.
Ooh, I've been following the Wilderness Lodge situation, so I was hoping you were going to say the other one.
No, but there's another one that just went down.
It's usually Spaceship Earth, because that one's under
oh my gosh
aspect of repair.
Oh my gosh! So the problem, it's not just Spaceship. We can't spend much time on this because it's not the most interesting topic, but it's the whole chiller system at Epcot. So all of the buildings in Epcot struggle when the heat gets up there. Yeah.
Yep. All right. Let's see here. Unique Mustache. That's a great name for $5. Joe quote from the video. There's parts I liked, parts I didn't like, and parts I effing hated, but that doesn't mean the movie is bad.
That's wild to me.
Because I need to keep my corporate sponsorship, allegedly, and I need to be honest enough that I can get out of this in about 2 weeks when people start really remembering.
There are people on the red carpet. There are influencers on the red carpet with Supergirl gift bags in their hands that are saying, so, you know, whatever the game is here is pretty strong. James Gunn going on panels with all the channels that have ragged on Marvel over the last few years, saying that they love Supergirl, and they're having to dig deep to find something positive to say, you know? Garfield's Bizarre Adventures. Hey, Garfield, haven't seen you on here for a while, so glad to see you back. For $5, Angry Joe crashing out on Twitter and begging his audience to watch Supergirl is absolutely pathetic. He took a Hollywood paycheck and sold out.
And didn't do it well. Nope. By the way, why did we get away from, you guys, I'm sure you both remember, there was a time in this country when we were respectable. There was a time in this country where people could be guaranteed that if they got on the interstate, anywhere, I don't care if it was Fargo, I don't care if it was Vegas, I don't care if it was Tallahassee, wherever you were in this great, big, beautiful US of A, which, by the way, 250 on the way, you were guaranteed to see a Garfield stuck with suction cups on somebody's car. And we have really let down, not just ourselves, but the world.
We as a society have failed. It's just that simple.
To all the Garfield fans out there and those who call themselves Garfield as users in the chat, I want to apologize.
Well, they did get replaced by Calvin peeing on things.
That was not licensed, Jonas. It was not.
It was
appropriate.
not.
Bill Watterson did not give permission for that.
He did not.
But those
He should've gotten
Garfields
paid for it, but
those Garfields, that was royalties going to who's the Garfield guy? Who's
Jim Schultz?
No. Come on, Jonas now.
Charles Schultz?
No, stop talking about Chucky that way. Somebody's going to tell us right now. It's going to happen.
Jim Davis?
Jim Davis, that's right.
I only have an autographed thing from Jim Davis in my office. But yeah, that was really bad.
Yeah.
Somebody said Lorenzo Music. That's a hamdinger. Thank you very much for that one.
It's a great reference. All right, one more super chat, Jonas, and let's dive in because Paramount, Angry Joe might be trying to defend Supergirl. Paramount's already moving on, man. They're done. They're finding a different franchise. We're going to talk about it.
Yep. Packing protons for $10. Any Paramount contacts? What do we have to conquer to get the original 1987 series negative scanned in HD? Or if they don't exist, Toei rotoscoped widescreen version for the 40th. Yeah, we generally try not to identify our sources here. So that would be amazing.
I'm just going to keep my mouth shut. I'm not going to get in trouble with this one.
Nope. Don't.
See? That's me. Yep. Not say anything. All right.
$1 super chat there.
There you go. All right, folks, let's dive in. If Angry Joe dies on the vine of Supergirl, don't think for a second the Ellisons are going to do the same thing. Paramount Skydance is getting ready to dance right on away from DC. James Gunn might be done, but they got more franchises in the portfolio, and they plan to go straight to them. As Supergirl is super falling, Paramount is crawling on over to their better franchises, perhaps trying to find something that will sustain them as they go forward, and it just might be TMNT, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. All of a sudden, out of thin air, they're everywhere. And that is because, according to a source we have, although it is slightly rumor, Paramount Skydance is getting ready to revive Turtle Fever, and especially leaning into nostalgia of the 80s and 90s versions of the Brothers in a Half Shell. Paramount plots Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles live theatrical tour. That's out of the Hollywood Reporter, coming out June 24th. So we are hot and fresh. Alex Weprin, always fresh, says the live event, which will launch next fall, time to the 40th anniversary of the original animated series, counts Tony-winning producer Eva Price as part of its creative team. Cowabunga! Paramount is plotting a live stage show, says the theatrical tour called Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles coming out of the shell. No. Sorry. Live on stage will launch in fall of 2027 and feature parkour, martial arts, and hip hop to tell the story of Leonardo, Raphael, Donatello, and Michelangelo in venues across the country. The show is expected to have a runtime of about 90 minutes, not counting an intermission, so it's probably about a 2-hour investment. All right, well, that's something, I mean, we didn't think we'd see Turtles in live action. Well, what if I told you that's not all? The Turtle stuff is happening fast and furious. From Parade, get off of my screen. From Parade, it says, Gen X icons, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles opens first ever pizzeria. But not at 90s prices. The immersive experience brings time travel-worthy arcade pizza parlor nostalgia to generations of fans. Sabina Graves, well played on the subtitle there, says the pizzeria has lifted the lid on its first ever official establishment in Santa Monica, California. On opening weekend, lines of TMNT fans of all ages went around the block. The outdoor tourist-heavy retail destination where it is located was filled with peeps who wanted to get a treat, a pizza pie. When the 80s comic book series broke into the mainstream with the Turtles, scores of fans from Gen X to Gen Alpha have grown up with the crime-fighting brothers with a love for pizza. But, going all in with full-blown restaurants and live-action shows, what is going on here?
And also video games. So
Tell us about the video games, Vera.
Yeah, so back in 2023, Shredder's Revenge came out, was a fantastic game. I highly recommend it to anybody who cares about TMNT and loves beat-em-ups. That game was recently free, and it is currently still free on the Epic Game Store. They're trying to hype people up, I believe, for a sequel, but we're also supposed to be getting the Last Ronin game in the near future, which is being developed by Platinum Games, who did things like Bayonetta, for example, and DMC. And Last Ronin sounds like it's going to be a cool game. We haven't heard too much in terms of it. It's primarily just been announced that it's being co-written by Waltz and Kevin Eastman, who originally created TMNT, and they seem to be putting a lot of money towards it because it is being deemed a AAA large-scale experience.
That's exactly right.
Platinum Games working on a Ninja Turtles game is like unbelievable. That's an awesome studio.
Yes.
And
Platinum Games has made some amazing things in the past.
Can we just say, too, I mean, this is so easy. I don't understand the corporations, except egos and hubris. The Turtles arcade machine, all the way back from the 90s, and every Pizza Hut there was back in the day, people wanted that game updated. And it took all the way until just a few years ago for Shredder's Revenge to be made, and it's a beat 'em up. It's just like the arcade. Graphics are a little bit more cutesy, but it's a phenomenal and deep game and really, really fun, greatly made, and people adore it. It turns out that giving fans what they want, it should not take decades. And that's why I have some hope here. Paramount Skydance, as DC is failing. You see, it says, the Last Ronin creator says the supposedly canceled TMNT movie isn't dead yet. This is out of, let me get the right name here, Reactor Mag, I believe is the name of it. Says that this is by Vanessa Armstrong. I just want to report on this and tell folks out there that according to people we're chatting with behind the scenes, although it is a little bit of rumor, the holdup now is not that they got cold feet about Last Ronin. It's not that suddenly, you know, they're worried that there would not be enthusiasm enough to sustain such a film. It's that the powers that be said, wait, we get one turtle. What if we have all four, even if it's not Last Ronin? We want all four, and maybe we want them in the same sort of style that we saw all the way back in 91. So let's talk about that. Vera, Jonas, either one, whoever wants to take this. At a time when superheroes are really fading, it could be a great time to bring back the nostalgic turtles like we saw with the Jim Henson costumes. You could do CGI for the faces or whatever you want to do. But that realism, that grittiness of the turtles, I think is something fans have wanted now, again, for like 3 decades. And it's about time that happened and money was made. What do you say about it?
I feel mixed on it because obviously I love the Turtles. I'm very excited for a lot of the projects that have been announced, but at the same time, I'm very hesitant to ask for, nostalgic properties and characters to be brought to the big screen and revived and be brought forward to 2026, because that generally means that something is going to be altered in their backstory, or the content itself is going to be sort of updated and modernized. So I'm definitely very hesitant. I'm cautiously optimistic, I guess is the best I could say about it.
Jonas, your thoughts on the idea of bringing back the Turtles and putting them in the way that, because we've had Seth Rogen Turtles. Nobody wants Seth Rogen Turtles. Nope. Maybe kids do. Maybe they're fooled into that. But
no. Actually, what's funny is I was asking my kids after they saw the previews for Mutant Mayhem what movies they were excited for, and I had to bring up Mutant Mayhem in the list of trailers, and when they remembered, they went, "Ew, no." And these are not cynical kids either. They just looked at it and said they didn't want it. So. These are not the kind of jaded people that look at something and even know that there could be a stupid version of it. They're the ones that we have to remind them, well, that's for kids. You probably could age up and you could watch something a little bit better. They just have zero interest in whatever it was that Seth Rogen was throwing down there. And they love Ninja Turtles. They'll binge all of it.
What are their thoughts on Michael Bay? Have they seen the Michael Bay stuff?
No, they have no interest in it. Secret of the Ooze and the 1991 are where it's at for them.
So it begs the question, why do these companies get away from what works? Because clearly the Turtles work in the form that they were in, whether it's the 80, what is it? The 88, 89, 87, I can't remember now 87. When that 87 cartoon. There's the cartoon that followed thereafter that has some fans, a lot of fans of that one. But there's a certain style to the Turtles.
Yeah, the 2003 CGI one has a lot of fans all its own. Rise of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, it's a little hit or miss. It's very it's very modern DuckTales. They're being goofy a little too much. It's a lot of that just happened kind of humor and gets very irritating very fast. But if I want that, I could just go watch the 800 seasons of Teen Titans Go that are already out there, and they do it better. The Ninja Turtles are an enduring property, and there's really no reason for Paramount to stay away from it. This should be as ubiquitous as SpongeBob SquarePants as far as that company is concerned. Like, this is an evergreen property, full pun intended. And the more they deviate from it, the more that they are doing that at their own peril.
Well, let me give him one more piece of credibility to this scoop that we've got, and it's a very small scoop. I mean, this is not hard to piece together. I think anybody could sort of sleuth this one. No denigration meant to the source that gave this to us, but there's a lot of breadcrumbs here. I would say, Vera, where are the Supergirl pizzerias or whatever it is she's shawarma or sushi or whatever she eats? I don't know. Bars. Apparently, that's all she does, right? Where are the Supergirl bars? They're not doing it. Where are the Superman live events? Not doing it. What is going on here when the Turtles are getting all of this fanfare and Supergirl, they're like, please let us just move on. Please.
Yeah, it's pretty bad, that's for sure.
I think it's obvious where the money is going to go for marketing, and it's not for what is premiering right now. It's what may be premiering in the years to come. It's Heroes in a Half Shell. And Paramount right now is saying, yeah, we like that turtle power. All right, Jonas, you are the splinter of this sewer dojo. Shall we go to the super chat, sir?
Sure. I don't know which splinter voice to do, but we'll do.
You should do Kevin Clash because it's a lot of fun.
Well, you do Kevin Clash much better than I do, and it's kind of like this one, but that ends up a little bit more. Mako, what's the guy's name? But the
guy from Last Airbender.
He played Splinter for a little while. Yeah,
did he? I didn't know that.
Yeah, Albertus Magnus for 5. I knew there was a connection between Garfield and Carlton, your doorman.
There you go.
Who's Carlton? Alfonso Ribeiro?
Do the Carlton, Jonas. Come on.
I did it just now. It was wonderful. It moved me. Butterbiscuit 92 for 5. Funny, I didn't think the pizza was going to be the newsworthy, but you turned it into a segment. You should travel out there, Pro, and give a review.
In the past, we couldn't do that kind of stuff because it just wasn't worth it for me to go places to review if I'm not on screen. It just didn't make sense. But now, yeah, those are possibilities now that we're on camera. And one of the things I want to do, we've talked about this for years, I would love to go to Casa Bonita and see how it's doing now that it's been out there running for years, right? It's always fun to go check out one of these things when it's brand new and it's fresh and all that. But how are Trey Parker and Matt Stone doing with Casa Bonita, after it's been open for a while? Is it still exciting? Is it still fun? We got to go check out these things. Road trip.
Not to be sued to oblivion.
Probably.
Dethil Devil for 5. I skipped the Lord of the Rings, the War of the Rohirrim. I am seeing Fellowship of the Ring 25th anniversary concert with no artificial intelligence.
Yeah, War of the Rohirrim was just not that great of a movie, but of course Fellowship is goated, as are all of the Lord of the Rings movies.
So good. Last call with Troy Pacelli, member for 25 months, 2 years, and 1 month. Hey, Troy.
Way to go, Troy. Way to go, Troy. Troy, by the way, we're going to be reaching out to you, paying attention to your contacts. The thing we talked about before with Lorne, we would love to get that going. So just be paying attention, please.
Yeah, and speaking of which, for $10, you didn't have to say this. You didn't have to send in a $10 super chat. I was going to mention this anyways. It was so great hanging out with you, Pro and Jonas. I hope if you're free, you can stop by Last Call tomorrow night. Is that, Troy, is that 10 o'clock tomorrow night that you're having a live stream on your channel? Just let me know in the comments. We'll
I'm making a note of it because, we are rather busy, but the 10 p.m. Friday night, that I should be able to make that. I'll do my best. If it was tonight, I can't, because tonight, folks, I'm going to see Supergirl.
fun.
And then
What a
do a
great
live
movie.
review. Yes, what a way to spend a Thursday. Live review tonight, 10 p.m. right here on the Pro Channel. Marvin's going to be joining me. I'll see if I can force Wiz into it. It's funny.
See if you can, before you go to the movie, see if you can force a Wiz.
It's force a Wiz. It's funny how when it's a movie like this, the misogynists in our group, it's so awful, Jonas, because none of them will go see the movie and then review it with me. All I've got is Marv, and I forced him. But all I've got is Marv, nobody else. All of these misogynists, none of them will go watch Millie on the big screen to help me out.
Could we get a That Park Place masseuse, though?
We should.
Yep. Flying blind on a rocket cycle for $2. Don't forget the Marvels had a cat cafe.
That's true.
If this gets beaten by the Marvels, it's going to be so funny.
It's going to get beaten by the Marvels. It is. I mean, this is awful. I'm predicting. So they've got the numbers now all over the place, but I'm sticking with a $38 million opening weekend. 38 mil domestic.
Unbelievable. Here's the solution. Y'all need to stop spending so much money on these movies. Like just make them in camera and see how that works out. Kamchi for $5. Again, they need to make TMNT serious, still fun, but mix of early TMNT 90s cartoon and 2002 version. I can make a great TMNT show. I prove it. Also,
go for it. Yeah.
Vera heard Dark Tides with Capcom. Also joining in doubling down on DEI. This is Dark Day for video games and Prey for Mega Man series.
Yeah, so I talked about it in a video yesterday, but a lot of Japanese companies right now are actually going through a wave of diversity efforts within their ranks. And it raises the question of how much that's going to happen to video game companies. Now, Capcom in the past has already admitted like their localization teams alter video games for ideological adaptation and inclusive storytelling. They have already definitely chased those sweet ESG dollars. But yeah, I think that it's going to get significantly worse for Japanese companies now.
Well, that's no good because that same strategy is what's caused Bungie to announce layoffs today.
Oh, yes. Many layoffs.
Isn't it funny that our good friend of the channel, Marty O'Donnell, predicted this exactly? Said, "Hey, you're going the wrong way," and they said, "Get out of here! Get out of here! We don't want to hear from you." And here's Bungie today. We'll click on this. It says, "With great sadness, we're announcing a reduction in force as we reorganize Bungie. As the leaders of Bungie, past and present, although they ran off most of the past geniuses, we recognize Destiny 2 fell short of expectations these past several years. Following our final content update to Destiny 2 and with future projects still in early incubation," that means we're not making anything, "we unfortunately could not continue operating at our previous size." Bungie was the apple of the developers' eyes. Everybody wanted to own Bungie. Microsoft was reticent to let them go. And here we are today. They are in collapse at the altar of political correctness, DEI, ESG, and woke policies.
Yeah, I mean, Sony spent over $3.6 billion on Bungie, thinking that they were going to be an easy win with how profitable Destiny 1 was. Destiny 2 did all right, though they're claiming it didn't meet their expectations, but they're also at the same time saying that Marathon had a good foundation during Season 1 and 2, and like they're really hopeful for Marathon, which is a complete and utter lie because the game it was dead on arrival and it's absolutely failing. But yeah, this is what they get. We're hearing that there are over 400 people that are now on the chopping block, and there's 800 people in total that work at Bungie, so half their rank is going to be cut. We also know that the studio head Justin Truman, who succeeded Pete Parsons only last year, is now stepping down, according to Bloomberg. And it's not shocking. Like, Sony spent so much money on them, it gave them a very long leash, and it didn't pay off. So what do you expect to happen? You play stupid games, you win stupid prizes. Apparently the developers wanted to make a Destiny dating simulator. Who would possibly want that?
It's a horrible idea. And is it okay? So looking at this from the outside, it looked like Destiny 2 actually had decent numbers, and Marathon was making somewhere like a tenth of that. And they're shutting down. Are they shutting down Destiny 2 specifically?
So they are not shutting. They're not shutting down.
Stopping development.
Yes, they're ceasing development. So they're keeping the servers up for the foreseeable future. I mean, Destiny 1, is still alive and kicking, and Destiny 2, I'm sure they'll leave up for a very long time. But yeah, they cut their plans short because apparently they wanted to work on several other expansions, but they said, no more, we've put too much money into this. We are saying it's not profitable, and we're focusing on Marathon, which seems like quite a dumb decision.
Yeah,
Dumb.
I think it's an assumption that people will go from one to the other, and I don't think that's how the market works. It's not. They're not locked in a room choosing between one or the other Bungie game. They're in the entire market. So
exactly.
Doge Pal for $2. Nickelodeon's mishandled TMNT in the past 10 years.
Right, but remember though, part of what we're talking about is this is going up higher than Nickelodeon. This is Paramount Skydance trying to identify what franchises they have that could offset the losses they're suffering through DC, and they expect to continue to suffer through DC, which was supposed to be a big win. I'll say this too. I think there's, and Jonas, I don't know how far we want to go on this. We got to be careful.
Yeah.
I think there's worry about Harry Potter now at this point as well.
Yes.
Okay. That enough?
The person who is responsible for Black Snape may no longer be with the company after everything is said and done.
I didn't mean to get you to say that.
That's
keep going.
Closest okay, yeah. Kamchi for $2. Cannot be warned them.
Listen, I think it's the first time Jonas has ever slipped up, and I've been like, whoa. Not supposed to say that, buddy.
There's some people that could be that person, and that's all I'm going to say on that. Can we not warn them? We've tried to warn them, I think,
all the time. That's what we're doing. Folks think we're negative. We are not negative. We are like the doctor telling you, hey, you need to get out there and jog. You need to get out there and lift weights. Take your vitamins, right? That's what we're telling Disney. That's what we're telling these entertainment companies. Give the fans what they're asking for. This is not hard.
Yeah. Let's see here. Alberta's Magnus for $5. I'm stunned that no one remembers that Lorenzo Music played Carlton, your doorman, on Rhoda, a spin-off TV series from the Mary Tyler Moore show. I didn't realize that. I knew that Lorenzo Music played Garfield and also Peter Venkman, but I did not know that he played Carlton, your doorman.
I am kicking you out of the Lorenzo Music fan club, Jonas. I feel like you have let the entire channel down.
Yeah. I'm just not a Lorenzo musical person. Doge Pal for $2. Shippers, not Destiny players, should play dating sim. Yes. Yeah. Agreed. I think that dating in a virtual world is it happens. I know someone who met his wife on World of Warcraft. So it's funny to hear how did you meet? Well, she was charming and named Giant. And okay, you're going to need to provide more context here. It can happen, but dating sims in this, I don't like that.
Jonas, were you on the show when I called out, without any prior knowledge, what I was sure that Fake Wizard's class was in World of Warcraft, just based on his personality? Were you here?
It wasn't a night elf mohawk, was it? No, I was not here for that.
It's Mr. T. Come on, man. No, I said, I know what you were. And he's like, no, you don't. I said, yeah, you were a protection paladin. And he's like, oh my gosh. And I said, yeah, I know. You had to do it the hard way, blah, blah, blah. I found out what Steve from Floral from Under Rock, the puppeteer who does Wilton, I found out what he was in World of Warcraft. Would you like to take a guess, Jonas?
Is there some kind of mischievous, unhelpful class?
Yes, there is, Jonas.
And what is it?
A gnomish rogue. He played a gnomish rogue.
You know what's funny is gnome implies knowledge, and I'll move on from that. Kamchi for $2. Talking about Capcom and other game companies. Yes, Mega Man also celebrated Sonic's 35th anniversary the other day, and man, I wish Mega Man got the love that Sonic does. Be amazing.
Would be nice.
How's Street Fighter doing these days? I haven't kept up with that in a long time. Is Street Fighter still going at this point, or
they just released Street Fighter 6. I've got a bunch of amiibo cards that I got on discount, like $6 for 12 of them or something ridiculous.
I mean,
like
Street
that.
Fighter 6 came out in 2023. I don't know if I'd count that as recent.
That's what I was wondering.
No, I was talking about Nintendo Switch too. That's my own fault for not tracking.
I understand. Yeah.
Is Street Fighter 6 still live? I know that 5 caused them all kinds of problems, but
It's still live, but
Okay, enough said. I got it. Yeah,
sort of set it and forget it.
yeah.
Yeah. I really haven't tracked after 2 Turbo. R. Johns for 5. I'm just here for the Caro song. Well, that's the play.
This is my Carol song. It is 8 seconds long.
Now, Jonas. Sorry. I didn't realize we had another one.
Packing Protons for 5. So you're telling me I might finally be a happy 87 fan in the future? We would love for you to be a happy 87 fan in the future. I think that would serve everyone's best interest. But developing something is different than actually releasing something. It's Neil Moritz who's in charge of Sonic the Hedgehog, I think. That is, we've heard the people in charge of Sonic the Hedgehog. I haven't actually heard the name Neil Moritz, but would be put in charge of TMNT.
It's all about the execution, right? So it's all fun to talk about it, and I'm hopeful. I want it to do well. It's all fun until they say, and Seth Rogen's in charge again. It's like, no.
Yikes. Stormweaver for 5 Canadian. I was a paladin in WoW as well. Lol.
Stormweaver, were you a holy paladin or a retribution paladin? We need to know, because Wiz and I were protection paladins. We did it the hard way. We're AoE tanks. We're out there helping everybody. Blessing of might, or blessing of king. You're getting it. Stormweaver, what were you? Let us know.
Chef Eddie for $2. Hashtag Steve was right. Pro floral pro Wilton. Plo Koon, by the way, while I'm mispronouncing words. I'm going to need better documentation on that one. I'm sorry, Chef Eddie. I don't know that's gibberish words.
Now, Jonas, I don't know if you've seen this, but we released the Asian wizard emoji that was demanded by our fans out there. It didn't work out so well. It turns out that emojis are small, and making a wizard be definitively Asian in that sort of space. I mean, he's Asian, all right, but you need like an 80-inch OLED to really look in there and go, yep, that's an Asian wizard. So that was already one where I felt like, man, we need a mulligan. Like, let's make a Caro emoji instead. Then people have been demanding now since May that they get a new summer sizzle. And Jonas,
I'm gonna need you to clarify what people means in this.
All kinds of people, 3 people. Jonas, so you remember that Pedro was the star of the sizzles for so long, right?
Yep. It was definitely Pedro Pascal.
And you recall that the reason for that is because Pedro is a very flamboyant person that Disney wanted to be the star of everything, right? Peepaw, right. the internet's daddy.
Right. He, just ladies, guard your closet. He might steal your blouse.
You're aware too, Jonas, that Disney has selected a new man of his 50s who will be the leader of everything IP for them.
Oh, no. Oh,
who is that?
Oh, yes, I do. I do know. This is
who is that man?
The Gruffalo.
Mark Ruffalo.
Yeah.
I need to give a preemptive apology.
Oh, no.
For you see, although Pedro is annoying and a complete failure when it comes to driving box office sales, at least Pedro is interesting. We're doing the sizzle, and we took Disney's new Pedro 2.0, but Mark Ruffalo is just a downer, Jonas. He's just a downer, and it's depressed the entire sizzle.
Okay. So this is worse than the original? I mean, sorry.
So, Jonas, I just need you to understand.
Is that a reference point, or is that the end of,
nope.
of the sizzle?
Well, I can't believe I'm saying this. I apologize, but I think we're actually going to miss Pedro after we've switched to Ruffalo.
It's time for my summer sizzle. Cool as a cherry popsicle. And don't hold back, get ready to stun. Fun, fun, fun for everyone. It's time for my summer sizzle. Beach ball parties, yeah, we're just
I would say the audio is doing a lot of the heavy lifting,
It really
on that
is.
one. It's
You see,
it's
Ruffalo,
not-
it turns out, does not lick popsicle sticks of a rainbow variety. He doesn't dance very much. It turns out that Mark the Ruffalo just goes on podcasts and onto fundraising events and very calmly explains why communism is the way. And that doesn't make for a great sizzle. But we're
I
stuck
would
with
agree.
it now.
No. You. I know that somewhere inside of you can make a better version of that. But if you're going to play this clip like 1,000 times and 1,001 more times than it should be played, you got to get some more movement in there.
He doesn't move.
And short.
He does nothing. Do you know how many videos I went through the Gruffalo trying to find anything at all? He doesn't dance. He doesn't move. His shoulders don't move when he speaks.
We
He just
did have
sits
this
there.
discussion about artificial intelligence earlier, and
Jonas, are you suggesting that I would take the Gruffalo and use AI to make him do and say things he never did or said?
No, never. Well, someone did on the last show. It was a bizarre thing that somebody had him saying something that he already said on camera and made an AI clip of him saying it.
Which is how we got tricked, because we thought we were playing the original video. Yeah, first time that ever happened.
Right.
Oh boy.
I have people skills. I am good at dealing with people. Can't you understand it? What the hell is wrong with you people?
Now, Jonas, I see we've got a bunch of super chats, but is it okay, sir? Would it be all right with you if we dive into the next bit of news?
Yep, go for it.
We'll come right back, folks. We never leave them behind, at least not for a long period of time. We'll get those super chats, but first, we got to talk about what we were just discussing with Gruffalo, the Ruffalo, because it turns out communism is spreading all over the entertainment industry, and it's wiping out the places where they make the movies. Well, it turns out that Mayor Mamdani is spreading socialism, communism all over NYC. It's taken over Los Angeles and California. And now people are leaving in droves, and that includes entertainment companies, moguls, celebrities, everybody. The tech bros, they're out of there. They're all fleeing, going to places like Texas, Florida, Tennessee, and NYC and Los Angeles are turning into new Detroits. It's going to have a huge impact on entertainment. First, let's talk about what's going on. We'll listen in right now from MS Now.
Appear in all sorts of people's ads, all sorts of Republicans' ads to say, this is what you're going to get if you vote for the Democrats, a communist.
I think that is...
This lady on the right is one of the ones who just won. She's asked, are you a communist? Essentially, on MS Now, the friendliest territory she could have. Are you a communist?
That framing is one that I've been very proud to be able to say I don't respond to, one in which I have been very intentional to say I won't be reactive. We are presenting a vision of what we're fighting for, and I think for far too long we have had politics that is reactive to what Republicans are doing.
Are you a communist? I will not say. That's essentially. Now, why would that be? Okay, it's a very easy thing to respond. Like, are you Republican? I will not say. Are you Democrat? I will not say. That would be very strange, right? Are you a communist? I will not say. I will not be reactive. No, I'm just trying to figure out what are you exactly that we're trying to elect. Okay, here's Mamdani speaking after said woman who refused to say whether she's communist won in NYC.
I have stood next to Daria Lisa and I have said, our next congresswoman. And I've said these words in the way that many of us will say, inshallah. In the beginning...
Now, if you didn't catch that, he's saying, I believe in maybe Arabic, he's saying praise to Allah.
In the beginning, we hope, but we don't know how close it is. And the closer and closer we get to the day, the more that we believe. And now that language of hope is a language of fact.
And what they're talking about is, well, socialism. In fact, here's one more. This out of the Daily Wire. NYC just elected a Mamdani-backed candidate who blames America for 9/11. Here's some of that.
And finding that, the system of capitalism and racism and white supremacy, etc., and Islamophobia have all been used, to colonize lands, right, to take resources from other people. And so this is like a long trajectory, and we're just seeing the manifestations of that continuation, right, with 9/11. And so a lot of times when people are asking us to respond about, attack, right, if you look back, like, historically, right, a lot of us come from lands that were colonized, lands where wars are being waged, right?
There's no history of that in the Middle East, right?
Or the policies in Europe. And so
in other words, because lands that their ancestors came from were colonized, that justifies what happened on 9/11. Now, the New York Post is reporting this, and I want to say, we're not political here, but this is going to tremendously impact entertainment. And we'll explain in just a second. New York Post is reporting Mamdani-backed lefties sweep NYC congressional primaries as socialist mayor's influence grows to D.C. by Craig McCarthy, Matt Troutman, and Marie Pohl. It says, the Zomentum is real. Socialist Mayor Zohran Mamdani's far-left slate of Big Apple congressional hopefuls prevailed, with Firebrand, all of them, projected to pull off an AOC-style upset. It says that they won by razor-thin leads, but that doesn't matter. They won, and now they're going into the midterms, and we'll see what happens. But these are socialists. These are not just your normal, ordinary Democrats. These are avowed socialists at the least, and again, they're refusing to say if they're communists. Now, the effect of this, okay, I'm going to go to Google's AI, and here's what it says about what's occurring. Google's AI, they call it Gemini, says California and New York are experiencing a historic migration outflow driven by high taxes. This is Google. Google is saying this. Driven by high taxes, soaring costs of living, and an increase in remote work. Between 2022 and 2023, and I bet it's exacerbated in the most recent years, the two states posted a combined net loss of 373,000 residents and an estimated $23.5 billion in adjusted gross income. It talks about where they're going. States with no individual income tax, such as Florida, Texas, Nevada, Tennessee, top destinations for departing residents. It goes on to talk about the wealth flight. Los Angeles and New York are experiencing a notable departure of high net worth individuals and major corporations looking to lower their financial burden. Now, why did they just lose 373,000 in 2022 and 2023? Because this data is including undocumented or illegal, whichever the term you want to use, immigration into these states. If you just use U.S. citizens and how many are there or less than, etc., what you find out is they are seeing millions of people flee. Millions of people flee. It's being somewhat offset by people coming in from other countries. In fact, I believe right now that children in New York City, it's like 40 or 50% of the children in New York City have a parent who was born outside the country. And so what we're watching right now, not only is wealth fleeing these states, but we're going to see this exacerbated now by the fact that it's getting worse. These policies are going farther and farther into extremes. And that means, Vera, we're about to watch New York and Los Angeles turn into new Detroits. And because these right now are the top two entertainment hubs of the country and perhaps of the world, this means, see, I could be negative, I could be drab, I could be dire. I don't want to do that, because I actually see this as them forfeiting their entertainment status. I see this as them handing it, abdicating, handing over entertainment to the rest of the country. And I think that's what's going to happen. I believe that places like Nevada, Florida, Texas, Tennessee, I believe these places are going to see huge entertainment growth, especially as we move into the new era of new media, where a lot of these people are going. Vera, what do you think? Is it now looking more and more based on the politics and going into communism? Is the door shutting on entertainment in those two places?
Yes, and I would also say, we've seen it happen over the past couple of weeks with movies like Backrooms and Obsession doing really good and even beating out films like The Mandalorian and Grogu. They are definitely forfeiting sort of their position and prestige in this space. And it's happening in Hollywood, it's happening in video games. These companies have based their companies in certain places, like Sony moving to California. That was their focus, and look at how much Sony has definitely dwindled over the past couple of years, at least in terms of consumer confidence. And so I do definitely think that is going to happen here. And I do think, obviously, it's going to take a very long time before we see a shift in our entertainment, even just with the content that's being created, because a lot of politically motivated people and a lot of activists weaseled their way into these spaces, didn't care about the history, respecting the source material. They just saw a way to make a quick buck, and in a lot of cases that didn't happen for them. But I do think that we are going to see a shift in pretty soon. Yeah.
Absolutely. We've got Christian Toto joining us right now. Christian, curious your thoughts on this. And as we go to you, I just want to say, a lot of times we obfuscate, we make it more difficult to understand just how dumb what has happened in New York and California, how dumb it is. We use big words, we use terminologies, and they do this too. But everybody in every walk of life knows that anti-meritocracy is a terrible idea. Like, there's no sports team out there that you can say, hey guys, it doesn't matter anymore if we win or lose. It doesn't matter if you try hard. Just show up. It's fine. That's all we need. Just show up. You know what? You don't even have to show up. Just if you want to, come on over, and we'll still have the same results. You all know what would happen if a coach did that. Total collapse. And you all know what would happen if that if you tried that at your place of work. We are running that very stupid experiment that's been run before in New York City and California, the locations where most of the entertainment in the United States is made. And they're going to have to flee. They're going to have to leave this.
Yeah, I've been talking glibly on X. I keep saying escape from New York, escape from New York. I actually from New York. I born and bred there. And it makes me sad. And for all the reasons we've just said, it's true. I think that from a cultural perspective, this could be a good thing. I think you're going to get different storytellers telling different kinds of stories. Maybe the gatekeepers won't be as aggressive as they used to be. And I think what we've seen this year from a content point of view is movies like Backrooms and Obsession thriving, and movies like Supergirl and The Mandalorian and Grogu just showing the rot within the system. Those are two IPs that have all the money, all the prestige, all the tools at their disposal, and they've delivered absolute dreck. So maybe this is all happening for a good reason. I also think AI is going to be, leveling the playing field even further, where storytellers across the country are going to be able to share what they want to share on their terms at a much lower price point. So there's a lot of cultural change going on. But you're right. I mean, it's New York and LA. Those are the entertainment hubs, but not for long. We've already seen that happening with comedy, where Austin is rising up because of Joe Rogan and some of those rebel comedians like Shane Gillis. They're congregating there in a blue-ish city because they really are embracing free speech. And it's thriving. I can't wait to visit Austin and check out the comedy scene there, because it really is pretty magical. But you've seen that transformation. One thing also about the culture, when I was growing up, I feel like cultural changes took a while. It was slow. It was methodical. People would adjust their patterns of behavior. Now it's very quick. And I think what you're all talking about may happen much more swiftly than we can even imagine.
So, Christian, this released The Adventures of Mary Sue. Josh Dawes, former Disney employee, has put this out. He's a 12-year veteran of Disney, leaves for a few months, makes this. This is all made now with the latest technology, and it looks to me like it can be made at 1/100th the cost. And it looks to me like it can be made in a very collapsed timeline. So, if this is available for feature-length films upscaled to 8K by the end of the year or into next year, I have no idea how New York and California make it. That was already a huge problem for them. This is a massive... People don't understand the level of problem this presents to the gatekeeping system of the studios. And then you add to that, oh, by the way, we're going to adopt, at the very least, socialism, but probably communist policies for these economies. I have no idea how they will not turn into new Detroits.
I don't
Yeah.
either. And this clip is so interesting. I just interviewed the Josh Dawes for my site, Hollywood and Toto. And the way he describes it was, yeah, the technology is great. And yes, the tools are amazing, but it's about story. And I'd go further. It's about an angle, a perspective that we all recognize, but that Hollywood is loath to discuss or embrace or even bring up at all. And, it's this sort of Mary Sue style story of this sort of, heroic woman with no flaws. We're all sick of it on some level, even if we don't think about it. Everyone here talks about it. We think about it. We discuss it. It's kind of just part of our culture of what we share. But the average person doesn't, but they sense it. So that's why these things are going to kind of catch on fire, because it looks good and the story is interesting. And, one of the things Josh told me is I didn't want to be mean to this young protagonist. I didn't want to have her get beaten up. That's not the point here. It's not to be cruel. It's to expose something, a cultural rot within the system. And that's what it does so well.
And another thing to think about this is, Vera, it occurs to me that throughout my life, if you wanted to make movies, if you wanted to be in entertainment, you had to move. There was a time when I was told, for voice work that, hey, you really would need, you need to move. You need to be in Southern California or you need to be in New York. Those are the two options. There were no other options if you wanted to be in voice work. And, or making video games, same sort of thing.
And it's not that way anymore.
Right. Well, it's actually the opposite now. The opposite is true, right? If you told me where should you go to make entertainment, I would say whatever you do, don't go to California or New York, because not only will it be exceedingly difficult, but I think it might be a tremendous waste of your time because the cost of living is exceedingly high, and you're going to be back in that bubble where things don't work. There, we've completely inverted the whole thing.
Yeah, and I think that that's great. And I think that that ultimately means that there's going to be more variety, in content, because there are all of these different voices that can be heard now, especially with the latest technology, like you just showed off. It is much easier to get into whether it's, video game development or storytelling and animation, all of these different things. And it opens the door that Hollywood previously had barred. There are going to be new people who tell these new stories, and we are going to see, I think, even more of a divide when it comes to this content, because, as we mentioned, you have Mando and Grogu and Supergirl on one side, and then you have the Backrooms and the Obsessions on another, and they're very different storytellers, very different content, but one side is clearly working and the other side clearly isn't. Now, of course, there is worry that these independent storytellers may, buy into the mainstream and that they want to be in this industry, but I think that this industry, as it has been, is clearly dying. And the thing is that the people that have sort of dominated Hollywood for so long, they're not going to stop and they're not going to give up very easily. They are more worried about spreading the message, and they care less about the money. They want to spread that communism, and they're happy to lose the money for that. But they're not just going to give up. And so I think that these independent content creators and storytellers, they do still need to be doing like the most possible when it comes to telling these unique stories, because it is going to be a long fight. That's for sure.
Jonas, I feel very sorry for the people who live in these areas, and I feel very sorry for them because at the same time that they're facing a technological paradigm shift, instead of doing the things that would be necessary to stay competitive, they're actually bringing a blowtorch to a burning building. And this is going to be so awful that as their industries are collapsing, they're going to turn to communism and socialism, the flattening of meritocracy, and it's going to it's going to level, it's going to completely destroy these cities and these areas.
Yeah, I think about the, this may be a strange place to go with it, but if you think about the communities that have built up in New York demographically, statistically speaking, communism has not been kind to certain ethnic groups, and they happen to also be not in favor with certain Middle Eastern demographics either. So you wouldn't get a mayor that's like a twofer on that one. Some of the liberal backbone of New York I can see why they're trying to get out of this city.
Well-
Culture is something that is people can try to dictate it, but I think that one thing that social media has done is shown that it's not truly dictated. There was this layer where the media said what culture was. I remember reading when I was in the 6th grade that bell bottoms had come back. That was news to me because I knew no one who was wearing bell bottoms. And I asked someone to explain it to me. Said, that means that people in New York and California are wearing them. Oh, okay. But the rest of the world, maybe not so much.
Yeah.
When we see what's going on in New York and what they think is popular in New York, sure, let them have their fun. If we're talking about economic policies that have only bred ruin and death wherever they go, yeah, get that out of the United States. That's not welcome here. Capitalism is the worst, except that it's better than every other system. This is something where I think we've been given an opportunity to see just how bad it can get, and we should just keep watching.
Yeah, and I would say this too, and then Christian, I'd love for you to wrap it up for us. At the risk of being political, there are certain groups that we're seeing rise in New York, and I wonder how much of the various demographics that are united together for this political movement, I wonder how much of that is a union of opportunity, and that as soon as they foment their power, that some of these people who often enjoy the month of June are going to be left out in the dust saying, oh, wait a minute, you never liked us. We were just a tool to achieve this this power.
If I could say union might not be the right word, I think axis might be a better word for it.
All right, Christian, you get the final word.
Yeah, just real quickly, think about how Hollywood has failed us collectively, why they haven't told stories about why communism fails and why socialism is a terrible, awful, no good idea, why late night TV will not mock any of these new wave of socialists who have genuinely vicious, vile thoughts. They don't even backtrack at this point. They just want everyone to come in the country, even if you're committing. Listen, you can argue back and forth about an illegal immigrant who's a good, kind person, whether he or she should stay. That's always a fair conversation to have. But they talk about violent illegal alien immigrants, and they don't want them kicked out either. I mean, this is really almost barbaric at times. It's sort of the political and sort of the cultural together, but we don't have a pop culture ecosystem that will expose it, that will mock it, that will explore it, that will tell us why this is bad. We have a corrupt media. Obviously, they don't want to do that. But wouldn't it be great if a Jimmy Kimmel talked about free speech in a true way and talked about who's rising up within his ranks and maybe put his foot down and maybe even do a good thing for the country and say, listen, I'm a Democrat, I hate Trump, but by golly, this new wave is going to be really terrible for the culture at large. That's what a late night satirist should be doing. And they'll do nothing of the kind.
Well, that's right. That's why he's giving his seat to Rosie O'Donnell.
That's what I say. Christian, you're so jaded. I mean, I feel like I got to sing the Aerosmith song to you. You're jaded, sir. Rosie O'Donnell may be the one to come in and say, stop it with the socialism. I mean, she's went to Ireland. She's learned all kinds of things. She's out of exile, Christian.
I'm not holding my breath for anything warm or wise from Miss O'Donnell.
I thought they drove all the snakes out of that island already.
Oh, Jonas, no. Oh, poor Rosie. All right, folks, things are not rosy in NYC or Los Angeles, and it's a real shame. But it's not a shame for the rest of the country. And so if you take anything away from this topic, please understand that although this is awful for those places, it's grand for the rest of the United States. And it might be better for entertainment. It is better for entertainment because sending this all out, having this be disseminated all across the United States is going to give us a greater diversity of views and entertainment thoughts and, variety. So we'll watch it. But communism taking over the places that used to make our entertainment.
When the hate and the shills stole your thrills, then took away your fun. Heroes gone, the stories rocked, and movies turned to mud. But don't give up the battle, 'cause there's a man right by your side. He's winning versus walkies every day. Marvin Montanaro. Let's all call on TPP. When truth is on your side, the fun don't have to hide. Montanaro turns the culture tide in the nick of time. Marvin is his name. Montanaro. Oh, sing it one more time. Montanaro. TGTPP. Marvin Montanaro. Haters can't hate on a guy so great. Marvin. Faster than a player can run. Happy birthday, Mars number
Marvin, I just realized we still had your birthday one loaded in.
It's okay.
not.
It's okay. It's an earworm. I've missed it. It's good to hear it back again.
Happy birthday, Marv.
Thanks.
Happy birthday!
That song is just proof positive that you should always watch what shirts you wear on stream, because you never know, if you wear a ratty tie-dye shirt one day, your friend will AI you and it will live forever in a video.
The dangers that can be. But Marv, the reason you're here is because we're about to talk about Buc-ee's, and you are a great connoisseur of Buc-ee's. Is that right?
I do enjoy the occasional Buc-ee's. Yes, it is a pretty big staple on my road trips. But you know, I'm also a big fan of Dolly Parton, and I believe that's also part of this story. So,
Marv, if you had to say beaver chips or beaver nuggets, which one do you go with when you're at Buc-ee's?
the chips, because my wife loves the chips. So you know, the chips are freshly baked. They're
all that in a bag of chips. All right, well, Jonas, let's get to the super chats, and then we'll dive into Buc-ee's, because Dolly Parton is going after Buc-ee's. It's a battle we never thought we would see, but Marv is an expert in all things when it comes to the beef. So what do we got?
Wow,
I'm sorry.
that came out wrong.
Can I just say, Marv?
Or right, or maybe it came out right.
Can I just say, Marv? I felt as I was ending the last half of that sentence, I realized there was no escaping it, and I thought, if I say the beeve like the 1950s show, I can save this if he just doesn't say anything.
Nope.
Anyway.
That one pass.
No, I was laughing about the fact that beaver nuggets already sounds like they came out of the wrong end of a beaver. Beaver chips doesn't sound much better either.
Yeah, probably not.
Just go on.
Doge Pal for $2. Mega Man just doesn't sell Street Fighter, Resident Evil, or MH. What's MH?
Monster Hunter.
Monster Hunter. Oh, of course. I almost forget that Monster Hunter is Capcom because it's so huge.
All I want from Capcom is a Mega Man Legends port. Doesn't even have to be a remake. Just port it. Just give me Mega Man Legends that's playable on a modern system, and give me Breath of Fire 3.
You're asking for so much that you're never going to get.
Every time there's a Capcom anything, I'm just like, give me either Mega Man or Breath of Fire, and I never get any of it.
I would murder a head of state for a Breath of Fire HD collection.
Folks, it's been a great time having the Pro Show live. We appreciate all of you, and now that we're being taken down based on Jonas's comment, we wish you all well.
No, I said a steak. A steak.
Oh, well, I'm sure YouTube will differentiate. Yes.
The first Dragon Queen for $2. Bearsuit feed. I'll tag him. I was a gnome warlock.
A gnome warlock. Well, it's even worse if you're a gnome.
Who is that
rogue.
in the bear suit?
Is that you?
Is it me? It doesn't
Could
have a
be.
beard.
But it has a hat. Detailed over for $5. Warner Brothers Discovery already fouled up Lord of the Rings and DCU. Can't afford Harry Potter 2. In sick, sad world. Crave joy / normal. Uncast Snape 2. Little too late. DE Aught Batgirl HP. Lithgow for excuse. So if I'm interpreting this correctly, sorry, that you can't put the toothpaste back in the tube.
Nope.
On that one. That one's coming out. If the only thing worse would be the backlash if they actually shelved it at this point. They would have to blame someone else.
It's funny, Jonas, because every time they say something positive, like something that I actually like hearing about this Harry Potter remake, I'm just reminded of the Snape situation, and it just completely tears it down for me. Like a lot of people hated on what Nick Frost said about Hagrid, and I actually kind of got what he was saying, because the movie's cut every like cool Hagrid moment, because there are moments in those books where Hagrid throws down and he's picking people up and throwing them, the curses are bouncing off of him, and like he jumps off the flying motorcycle and tackles a Death Eater off the broom, and he's like, if we're doing that, if we get to see like that side of Hagrid, I'm cool for that. But it's still in a show with that Snape, I can't do it.
It's true. Packing protons for 5. Breaking. Tom Holland says that New York City Mayor Zoran Nondami has a sizable cameo.
No.
Spider-Man Brand New Day. Skippable now.
There's no way. There's no way. They were filming this movie before he was even elected, right?
There's no way that Sony would allow that. If they did, then that's the end of Brand New Day. I mean, I'm already upset that Zendaya's in it. Irate Specialist for $2. Hashtag Justice for Steve. Hashtag Steve was writer.
Steve was semi-correct about one thing one time like a month ago, and we have not heard the end of it.
If by semi you mean incorrect, yes.
Yes, completely incorrect.
By the way, we've hit the goal for the Super Chats today, folks. We've given 1 month of free Patreon away. Click on the link in the chat if you're watching here on YouTube, and you can enjoy 1 month of the Patreon. We just put out a huge scoop about Toy Story 6 and 7, so go check out what we've got on the Patreon. Link is in the chat. There are 200 free months. 200 of you can enjoy it, 1 month each. So be one of the first 200 to get in. If you're not, well, we'll try again another Pro Show day.
All right. Kamchi for $5. Which worries me with Sega recent controversy with Mia and putting trouble streamers for the Sonic anniversary, and also DD on DEI. JP need to know DEI is death. I watched parts of the Sonic stream. I didn't catch the DEI stuff. Vera? There was an amazing live stream for the 35th anniversary. It was
I didn't
great.
watch it. I should.
Yeah, the only thing that they had that was a new announcement, well, Sonic Frontiers for the Nintendo Switch 2 was the only new game they announced. So,
given the controversy that Nintendo had with that game where they put in the gender choice thing, surely the Japanese studios, that was the first time they had touched their toe in the water, and it was like, whoa, this did not go well. So surely Japan is looking at this saying, we don't want to be a part of whatever is destroying everything entertainment in the US of A.
Well, so there is a problem where the Japanese government is now requiring companies to have some of these policies in place, and so that's also a really big part of like the Japanese video game story. Is like the Japanese video game companies they have that in place, but now they're going overboard with it because they're following Western trends and they believe that it's going to pay off for them, and it never does. I mean, even as you had just mentioned, we saw the Dragon Quest HD 2D remake a couple of years ago come out, and Yuji Horii had completely rejected that and said, why do we need body type A and B instead of male and female? Like, I don't understand this trend. And so those original creatives of some of the biggest Japanese video games, they're no longer working in the video game industry because they don't feel that there is a space, because they don't appreciate these trends.
Yeah, and it's so funny to me. It's always a corrupt government. It's always not from the private sector. When we looked up Dustborn and Concord and all these crazy, stupid, terrible games that nobody bought, it's always like funded by Norway, or it's funded by some sort of EU thing, or it's funded by Soros.
Wings Interactive and all their connections to Sweet Baby.
Always.
Yeah.
Yep. Chef Eddie for $2. That was a summer fizzle. It was a, you know what you could do? You could add like a turntable element to it and make it the Ruffalo Rizzle.
Wait, there was a new summer sizzle?
Not really. Not really.
It's very disappointing.
I'm actively discouraging this one.
You don't want me to play it?
No, please. No.
You want the old.
Back.
Do it live!
Fine, Bill. Fine.
I was looking for the stop, get help one. Packing protons for 2. New Hagrid actor is already doing damage control. Yeah, it's weird. The comments are weird. He said people aren't going to like it.
By the way, same thing with Dwayne Johnson with Moana. He's already putting out damage control articles and interviews.
Classic.
Yeah. Well, rumor is he's going to be working on a new picture with Darren Aronofsky. Seems like The Rock's pursuit of an Oscar is continuing. So
Good luck on that.
I'm gonna do the Angry Joe thing and say everybody please support that so he can go back to making the Rock movies.
So
I'm gonna do the exact opposite. I am so entertained by The Rock's never-ending failure. I need it to keep happening. I want him to keep trying, and it's just being cringe.
So he just did an article, and we covered this, where he talks about his kids' reaction to him in the Maui suit, and he talks about how his kids were like, "Oh," and I said, if they had any hope that this movie was going to do well, they would be doing articles where they talk about the artisan efforts to make this suit, the amazing Polynesian heritage, what the tattoos mean, and instead, we are weeks before this movie comes out, and they're already doing the, yeah, my kids saw me, and they're like, whoa. And that's...
So,
damage.
Two out of the three trailers were ratioed. The most recent trailer, I mean, there's only a difference of about 3,000 between the likes and the dislikes, but the likes still do have it. This movie is tracking to do... I think somewhere around like the $70 to $80 million for their opening weekend. There was a report from Box Office Global about $50 million, but I couldn't find anything corroborating that.
Well, they said that was their own projection they had.
Yeah, but it's going. That means it's open. No matter what, whichever one you go with, it's going to open under The Little Mermaid.
Poof. Wendy for $5.
Sorry.
Wendy
They're saying $200 million budget. I don't think that's the case at all with all the visual effects in that movie.
Yeah, Wendy for $5. OM goodness, bring back Pedro.
So here's the thing. I think we need to petition Disney. We need to say, listen, Disney, we thought we couldn't stand Pedro, but now that you're going to make Mark Ruffalo be the head of all of your IP, we have seen the light. We need Pedro back, please. Pedro and Bad Bunny, I don't care, but anything is better than Mark the Ruffalo Gruffalo. He is so just bleh. Please no.
Yep. Garfield's Bizarre Adventure for $5. Looks like Angry Joe is crashing out in the comment section of his Supergirl review video.
We're
Joe
looking
is
for that.
tweeting at Nerdrotic and blaming him for everything.
Did you see his review though? He hated it.
Yes.
He hated it, but he told everyone to go see it for him.
But
please,
here's the thing.
Please.
He kind of gets points from me for not doubling down and saying that it was good after everything. Like, he almost kind of gets points on me for actually telling what he actually thought.
He is losing his mind in his own comment sections. Hang on. Tag to the top. Oh my gosh.
Oof.
Tagged. Okay. Message to all YouTubers out there from your pal Pro. Never ever do this. Okay,
like
so
pin comments.
It's like the Kermit the Frog at the typewriter gif where he's just like...
Here is Angry Joe's reaction to his own trailer, pinned to the top for everybody to see. To all of Nerdrotic's fandom menace, brigading here. We predicted Supergirl would have problems before its debut. We predicted it would likely fail at the box office number of times. Go out and see Supergirl, said at the end of the video in which we said all those things beforehand because we wanted to see a Lobo film. I also said go out and see Superman, a film so many of you hated with a passion. Y'all thought it was woke trash, LOL. I also said go out and support Black Adam, another bad film, because I wanted blah, blah, blah. They've gotten to him. They have gotten to him. Total views, 23,000 views on his review out of, by the way, this is not good. If you've got 3.24 million subscribers, let's double it. What he probably has, privately, probably about 40,000 views for a 3.24 million channel. But he's got, out of all of those, out of 23, almost 24,000 views, 200 people looked at the pinned comment and said, yeah, I'm going to like that. Dude's getting, well, here you go. 416 likes on You Should Have Seen This Coming, Joe. Just because you're a fan doesn't mean you have to blindly defend things. So this is why you never, ever, ever do this. In a pinned comment, he is being ratioed. He has every reason. It's his channel. It's his pinned comment. He has 240 likes. He is being, oh my gosh, he's got 800 against him, but you begged me to go watch. He is being ratioed on his own video with a pinned comment. I got to get out. It's too embarrassing. It's too cringy. I can't do it. Never do that, folks.
Yeah, I mean, his audience should, in theory, you'd think, be sitting there and defending him and liking his posts and responding saying, hey, ignore the haters or whatever cope they want to put out there. But they're not even doing that. It's just people pointing and laughing at him. It's brutal, but it's great.
Too much cringe, man. It's like watching Steve Carell in that episode where it's where he's supposed to be donating all the money to the high schoolers at the end. Scots for Tots, or Tots for Scots. What was that? What's the name of it? Scott's Tots.
What you gonna do? Make our dreams come true.
What you gonna do? Make
That's the Angry Joe video right now in the comment section is Scott's Tots. Woo.
Yep. Doge Pal for $2. Happy Global Beatles Day. Love is all you need.
Are we talking about
Love
Beatles,
is all
the
you
band,
need.
The band or like the bug?
You know, if there's a day devoted just to Beatles, that would be cool too.
There is a day for everything. So
yeah, that's in Ecclesiastes. Detail Devil for $2. HBO HP brought to you by MOM's new Fudge Up department. Ministry of
HBO Harry Potter brought to you by Ministry of Magic's new Fudge It Up department.
Right.
I don't think that's about Klondike bars.
No, I think it's about Cornelius Fudge. Albertus Magnus for $5. Communism, socialism, Marxism, Nazism, fascism, and Democratic Party policy are all branches of the same tree. Totalitarianism. Yeah, but I don't drink either.
Yep. And anti-truth, I would say, too. Because everybody knows all of these policies fail at home. So why would they fail? As we said before, if you had a sports team of little leaguers and you told them, don't have to practice, don't have to do anything, we're all going to get the same thing at the end, no matter what would happen? Sports team collapses. I don't care if it's T-ballers. I don't care if it's in the NBA. It collapses. Why would that not collapse at every scale that you can imagine, up and down, from the tiniest things at home to entire cities? It's obvious to everybody you can't do this and it work. You cannot eliminate meritocracy. It's craziness.
No Child Left Behind really fucked us up.
It did indeed. Thank you. George W., I know you meant well, but that one is a little bit, I don't know, maybe Dick Cheney or Rumsfeld had a part in that.
I don't know. I think totalitarian T-ball actually has kind of an interesting ring to it.
Sorry. Will's version of George W. took over for a minute.
Detail Double for $2. Hogwarts goes DEI, hires Dementors, Urklings, and Imps. What's an Urkling? Did I do that?
I've never heard of an Urkling.
We need to be more.
I'm in book 7 of the audiobooks right now. So
I don't know.
Be more dedicated. Come on, man.
Karen Bass does kind of remind me of a blast-ended Scroot. Detail Double for $2. Can't quit CA because fam. Almost bi-coastal New York because girl. Good luck to you, sir.
Yes.
Spring 91 Bear for $2. Rich liberals voted for this because it'll never happen here, right? I look at all those great communist countries that have had so much success. That's what it is. They're interested in weight loss. Mark of Reality for $2. Sharia doesn't belong in New York either. I know. Correct. She's got her problems. She really needs to come back home. Michael Steele for $2 Canadian. Pro, did the Avatar come first or the Avatar?
The chicken or the egg, right? No, when we designed the Avatar, we knew that I might go in camera one day, and so we needed to look at least a little bit like me.
Yep. Let's see. Alberta's Magnus for $10. Communism serves the vanities of communists, like Caesarism served the vanities of the Caesars. All they wanted is praise, acclaim, and worship afforded rulers. This is history. You know, for all these people who think that corporatism is so bad, and communism being the solution to corporatism in some way, really, it's just one corporation that you can't get away from. It's the ultimate form of corporatism. So, anyhow, packing protons for $5. Marv claims there is no mafia. I have proof. Not. All that buildup of John Trent guy leaves after 4 or so months, and Marv slips in.
Has nothing to do with the mafia.
Yeah, it's a.
Wait a minute. Did you just admit the mafia exists?
No, because it doesn't exist. It has nothing to do with fairies and unicorns either, because they don't exist.
Oh, okay.
Just like the mafia doesn't exist.
Yep. Radio for $20. Vera, good morning, everyone, from the middle of the Pacific Ocean.
Hi.
I hope you're on an island and not just like floating.
If you need us to send somebody, please signal.
But if you are just
circling.
for
The sharks are circling, but I have to
$500,
say hi to
we'll send a
Vera.
boat.
But if you are just floating with the sharks in the Pacific, let me say you have a great Starlink, and you should keep that.
Yep. Let's see here. Staccato DDS for $10. Japan has a homogeneous population. Are they really impacted by DEI? It's a
They
fair
want to act
point.
like they are.
Yeah, they want to, they're always like 5 years late on all Western trends, and then they, so we pretty much moved on by the time they do it.
That's a good point. Kamchi for $5. The streamers are mostly activists that want to wish for people death, and McDeman can sell great. Capcom going DEI is bad, and Sega long infected by DEI. It's these American branches trying to tell the Japanese branches what to do. It's a pain.
Yeah. I mean, a few months ago, we found out that hundreds of people were fired from Square Enix, and their Western branch basically dwindled down to nothing, which is ultimately a very, very good sign for Square Enix because of how, politically motivated they are, or they had become, and how many people that they had hired that were more focused on pushing a message instead of actually creating entertainment.
Well, I mean, look at who Square Enix loved to work with. Look who they loved to bring on as a consultant. It was SBI all the time.
And Black Girl Gamers.
Oh, yeah.
On
Forspoken.
Yep, Forspoken.
We never ran into them, did we, Jonas?
Eventually, they did deliver a letter to us, and it was so sweet. We never officially responded, did we?
I would
I
more
think-
say they ran into us.
I think Ron Coleman delivered a message.
Yeah, a message that I guess silenced them. I didn't mean to take any First Amendment rights away from anybody.
I don't think they were expecting an attorney who won at the Supreme Court to respond to them when they.
Yeah. You'll see me make my day. Packing protons for $5. The moment Master Roshi holds open a door and says, "Ma'am, I'm invading Japan." Is that a Dragon Ball Z reference? Is he Roshi? Is that the guy from
Yes, that is a
DBZ?
Dragon Ball Z reference. Master Roshi is a pervert. So.
Oh, okay. Flying blind out of rocket cycle for $2. Did someone say sizzle? No, they said Western Sizzler, where you can get 2 potatoes and 2 sweet peas. Kamchi for $2. Also, can we tell JP government that DEI ain't working? Yeah, the best way to tell them is to just not buy the things that are full of nonsense.
Okay, so no financial advice, all right? But let's try this for a little thought experiment, okay? Dear Japanese government, okay? Domo arigato, it's your pal Pro here. If you were to invest as the government of Japan, if you were to invest in, let's say, semiconductors or companies that support DEI and ESG at a high level, what do we think would be the better return on that? And once you figure that out, you know where to go to, right? There is no doubt that you should be investing in technology, meritocracy, biomedical stuff, and not investing in something that has just destroyed so many companies, DEI and ESG. It's crazy. Leave it behind.
Agreed. Jim Butler, member for $2. I'm looking forward to watching the Axonar fan film. Is that finally coming out?
I'm not sure.
I don't know. I'll have to ask RGB. Just kidding. RMB. Archer Merchant for 10. I think Angry Joe's studio was absorbed by a Disney affiliate when they were gobbling YouTube sketch channels back in the day. So the shilling is very broad between YouTube affiliates, Rotten Tomatoes, etc. Would that be Maker Studios, one of Bob Iger's many overpriced acquisitions? That one usually gets forgotten.
Let me just read some of these comments that are coming in right now that are near 1,000. If I refresh, they might be. Katsu Jinkin says, "But you begged me to go watch this. You owe me $15 for my ticket, Joe. Now I know you only have $7, so you can pay me back in installments." 798 likes. We all know from FZJ04. We all know this isn't your final rating, Joe. You ain't fooling us again. We know after your 5th watch, your rating will go pop up. We got this one, 600. Wasn't Joe recently begging people to go see this flawed mess? Boy, I mean, it's just nonstop. The crash out. Oh my gosh. Anyway.
I just, congrats to Angry Joe on at least getting the hate clicks. Spring 91 Bear for $2. Michael Jackson died
He's back in the
17
costume.
years ago today. Well, rest in peace.
He's got 287 likes now.
Cole
913.
Too Canadian. Hail all, nice avatar, Obi-Wan. Just kidding. You know, I think there's some Star Wars fans out there that are actually specifically disappointed with the avatar change.
By the way, Cole Hauser, it's an honor that you're watching out there. We appreciate you, man.
Yeah.
Love that guy.
Packing Protons for $5. Sent Pro the Mondani Spider-Man quote, never heard of discussing fish. Oh, there you go.
Okay, that's
It's
what
a
it
parody.
Yeah.
gets everybody. Packing Protons. Don't feel bad.
Every once in a while.
Yep. Packing Protons for $2. Marv needs non-reflective glasses.
Boy, brother, you're telling me I need the blue light glasses because my eyes start to hurt so much for looking at the screen for so long. But like you're constantly getting reflections from my glasses, so I really need to find. I don't think they make such a thing. I don't think that's like possible in physics. So.
See, I'm actually angled in such a way to try to stop that. If I were to pop up here, you can see I would get reflections. We've got, it's nice to look that way most of the time. It helps out.
Yep. And then finally, our last super chat for now, Packing Protons for $2. Oh, and where is our Bluey series review?
I would never. You never told me I had to do a review. You just said I had to watch it.
Come on, Marv. You gotta keep you uppy. Come on, dude.
All right.
100.
The Bluey joke. All right, ladies and gents, we've only got time for 2 more stories. We're going to go back to back, and we were going to cover Buc-ee's. We're going to push Buc-ee's, the story of Dolly Parton and Buc-ee's, until tonight. Marv, you're going to be joining me for the live out of the theater review of Supergirl. I'm so excited about this. Christian is snickering right now because he's already suffered, and he knows that I am not prepared for what I'm about to have to go through.
Yep, I'm going in 2 hours.
So, Marv, we're going to cover this, though, tonight. Dolly Parton opening a huge, massive, like 100-pump gas station, 200-pump, I don't know, but she's going after the beaver. She's going after Buc-ee's, Marv, and we'll cover that tonight, right?
Mm-hmm.
What?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, just she's going after the beaver.
All right. With all that said, folks, instead, what do you get? Please don't hate us. We're going to talk about The View. I know. It's The View. Again. Now, it's about time somebody asked, what is the Walt Disney Company up to exactly? They have Jimmy Kimmel being replaced by Rosie O'Donnell over the summer. They've got Mark Ruffalo and El Gato and Spider-Man and all this stuff. They loved Pedro. What is Disney doing? Well, we think we know, and we think we can figure it out because of The View off of thatparkplace.com. Marvin Montanaro, the author here. It says, The View defends socialism in America on Disney TV, calls it a political force to be reckoned with. Well, I tell you, this was not on my bingo card. They just had on J.D. Vance, and so I thought, well, maybe at long last, the ladies of The View are going to be forced to moderate and move back to the middle, the sensible center. But nay, now they're happy in New York City. This is practically Disney because these people are paid by Disney. It's Disney's daytime talk show, and they're out there talking about how happy they are with democratic socialism, which I would say is actually pretty darn close to communism. Begs a question. What would Uncle Walt think about this, knowing that his company is promoting this kind of stuff? Here's the first clip.
And they're not afraid of the term democratic socialism. If I fall down, I want an ambulance. If my house is on fire.
Because that's definitely. I can't
socialism.
stand this crap. I can't stand when they do this because here's why I can't stand it. Because it purports that the people watching The View are so stupid that they can't figure that out. And within seconds, my brain fires enough electrical circuits to say, stupid! This is so stupid. People, I know we're not this dumb. Communism doesn't mean you get an ambulance.
I think she's that dumb.
Well, possibly.
I think she actually believes what she's saying.
Possibly there. We're going to have to refreshify. It seems to be stuckified. But Marv, your thoughts on the View and the ladies of The View defending communism, socialism, then we'll play the rest of the clip.
So, you know what? I will be fair. One of them actually does push back against it. Anna Farrah Griffith pushes back, and we have that clip in there as well. But The View is completely out of control. They have become such a political echo chamber that they will defend literally anything. One of my first big stories that I covered on The View was they had Anthony Weiner on. Yes, that Anthony Weiner, who was jailed for sending inappropriate material materials to a minor. And they had him on and they praised him and they smiled at him and they talked about what a great politician he is, all because he said Orange Man bad. At this point, they will go for literally anything as long as it's against the right. And now,
The problem is it's Disney,
They're not
Marvin.
afraid of the-
I don't care what Joy Behar thinks. I don't care what Sonny Hostin thinks. But they are speaking on behalf of the corporation, which employs them and puts them on the air. They are Disney peeps.
Fire, bring your hose. You know what I mean? We are looking,
The SEALs are clapping now for communism in NYC.
Yeah, it's so funny because it is communism. They're just trying to use less charged words to get people to unwittingly, agree to it.
Right, democratic socialism. This is just communism.
And one of the main things you're going to see that they try to say here is they're trying to destigmatize the word socialism because they claim that the Republicans are trying to make that a bad word. And I'm like, it is a bad word.
I'm not scared of the term. I think they're scared of the term in this country. But Social Security is a democratic socialism.
Oh my gosh, are we seriously, if it has the word social in it, we're going to say that's socialism?
Yeah, social media is also socialism. I don't know if you knew that, bro.
Oh my gosh, well, your social clubs in the evening, that definitely is socialism now.
Big time.
Partly unemployment insurance is. The people who pick up your garbage, the people
I went to an ice cream social down at the community center, and it was great socialism. They even gave me some hot fudge.
This is so stupid, I can't hardly handle it. I mean, picking up the garbage, the local utilities are socialism?
who take a fire out of your house. All of these things are democratic socialism. And there's a major reaction formation going on right now. If you see, we'll see soon, we're talking about it later, about Republican senators are turning, congressmen are turning on Trump. And people have had it with this right wing.
Well, let's go to communism then, eh? Orange Man's bad. Vera, take it away.
This is so stupid, my God. I mean, that's basically the TLDR.
Gosh, I can't believe Disney puts this on there.
It's a news show, just so you know. It's a news
bona fide news.
Right, fighting the FCC so they can keep... Christian, The Price is Right quadruples the ratings of this show. Why doesn't Disney just put out a stupid game show in the middle of the day and call it and say, we don't want to fight over this crap?
Because they want that messaging. It's the same reason why. Listen, do you think that if The Late Show is losing $40 million a year, do you think that Jimmy Kimmel Live makes any money? I guarantee that's a loss too. They want that messaging out there. And the fact that The View, I mean, I've been covering The View for so long, and
I'm sorry. I'm so sorry.
Keeps getting dumber. It just gets dumber. It's you think it can't get dumber. It can't get worse. It can't get more conspiratorial. It can't get more divorced from the facts. By the way, that's why they don't have any right-leaning guests on ever. J.D. Vance was a rare exception. I'm not going to do that again.
And he controlled the whole thing.
Yeah, he came off looking amazing. And, and Joy Behar fell in love with him on the air. Christian, I feel your pain because I also have to cover The View. I have to watch more of The View than anyone in our organization.
So two comments back on that, Christian. One is the level of discourse here is the kind that at a community college, you should get kicked out of the classroom for saying this stuff. They should just say, you're not ready for this. You need to go back and take high school level classes, like maybe middle school. This is so stupid. But also, Christian, I want to know from you. So you say that Disney wants this message out. Now, I know that Disney is many different parts and many different people. And what we've heard and we believe is that there are Wall Street execs at Disney right now trying to help this company get back on track. Maybe Josh D'Amaro is part of that. This is all under Dana Walden. Is that where this is coming from? From Kamala Harris's bestie, Dana Walden? Like, why would they want this, Christian? This is not economically beneficial to them.
You know, I don't think this show costs an arm and a leg. Whereas like The Late Show, Kimmel, Saturday Night Live, I'd like to kind of look at the books on that show because that show probably costs quite a bit, the production values, things like that. So I think this show gets enough ratings where it's not a pain point for ABC. But the bottom line is you have to have some adults in the room. You've got to have someone who say, watch the programming and say, wait a minute, that's completely absurd. That's just unhinged. And we're going to have to talk to the hosts and say, you can't share these kind of opinions without any basis in reality, without any facts. That never happens. And that's why it keeps drifting crazier and crazier. I mean, you could argue that right now that to watch it is almost entertaining because how bad will it be today? How how disengaged from reality will the show become? That's all it is, right?
It's the honey boo boo of daily commentary.
Yeah, it's really stunning. And someone like a Whoopi Goldberg who will say something maybe kind of based in common sense once every week. Sunny Hostin's a lawyer. They're not technically dumb, but everything they say is stupid. Not just because I disagree with it. I mean, listen, Whoopi Goldberg has said on the show that the Trump administration wants to ban or separate interracial marriages, ignoring the fact that JD Vance is married to a woman of color. I mean, that's how bad we are.
She also said, Christian, that Black Americans have it worse than the people of Iran.
That too.
Had to cover that one. And Sunny Hostin spread outright misinformation about the trial case with Mr. Anthony, who we can't really say his name on YouTube, but she spread blatant misinformation. The View got community noted. The Bonafide News show got community noted on X.
Here's more from The View.
I disagree with that. I think that New York is the nation's cultural and political capital, and that's just a fact. And I think the Democratic Socialists of America is a force to be reckoned with at this point. Yes. I really do believe that. You mentioned these other candidates that won, but you didn't mention Brad Lander, who ran on basically a Democratic Socialist platform. He ran on building more affordable housing, protecting reproductive rights, the fight to protect and stand up for the LGBTQ plus community, Medicare for all.
Who did he unseat, though?
Advocate for people having jobs that pay more so they can buy houses, rather than the government giving them houses that will never be great because the government never gives you great things, because then you don't need the government anymore. This is it's just asinine to me.
I have to give it to Anna, though. Anna pushes back on all of it. If you play, there's a clip below that, Pro, where Anna actually makes really good points, and she points back. She's like, you are allowing, she even calls it out. She says, this is left-wing extremism, and you are allowing this to take over your party, and that is a slippery slope. It will never hit on a national level, because the second South Americans and Cubans hear the word socialism, they're off in the other direction. That's why a socialist candidate for president will never win Florida.
Yeah, right. And I mean, I completely agree with everything that you guys are saying, but what really drives me nuts here is that it's basically buzzword, buzzword, buzzword. We need to throw out as many terms as possible. Like, these women are just going by the Hegelian dialectic, and they don't even know what that is. They also want people to believe that, cultural Marxism, for example, is a right-wing conspiracy theory, but it's not. It's completely real. And for anybody who doesn't know, this is all stuff that Thomas Sowell had hit against, and go and read his work. It's absolutely fantastic.
Absolutely. Thomas Sowell, big fan.
Austin's reading from a prepared sheet of all these lofty goals. Well, we all want some of those lofty goals, better health care and things like that. But that means nothing. I mean, it's what are your policies to make that possible? And if those policies have failed again and again and again across the globe, why would you think they'd be different now?
Right. And the other thing, too, about this is, in their conquest to destroy the Orange Man, which has failed, they have allowed themselves to believe in things that we all know simply cannot be true. The government cannot be everything. You have to go make things. We have to go make things. You can't everybody can't sit at home and get government housing and free air conditioning and Obama phones and all this stuff. And the fact that Disney does this with Kimmel and with the ladies of The View, and now with Rosie bringing her on, and you got Mark Ruffalo every single day, and it was Pedro. What is happening? This company actually is supposed to be a profit-seeking corporation, but the people who speak on their behalf are anti-meritocracy, anti-capitalist, anti-success, and I'll guarantee you that Sunny Hostin is not about to go to the custodian behind her and say, I believe in socialism, I believe in communism, so I'm going to give you my salary and I'm going to take yours. It's never going to happen, so they're hypocrites on top of all of it. Anyway, that's what I think.
Yep, you're right. And Anna Farrah Griffith, she says dumb things every once in a while, but she at least called it out that like, no, guys, this is left-wing extremism. This is a slippery slope. And for years, the Republicans have been calling the Democrats socialists, and the Democrats have been saying they're not socialists. I mean, Nancy Pelosi has said repeatedly, we are not socialists, we're capitalists. We are now at a point where they are just openly being like, we are socialists. And
we are socialists. Dum 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 dum.
Yep.
Good grief. All right, folks, 3 super chats, and it's off to the races with the final story of the day. Also, if you'd like to grab that Patreon free membership for a month, it's out in the chat again. Go click it, and it's because you helped us stick it to the algorithms, hitting that super chat goal. Packing Protons for 2 is promoting socialism against FCC rules. It's not. Should be, he says, but it's not. Archer Merchant for 5. Walt is turning over in his grave fast enough to power and overload the AC units at Magic Kingdom.
That's actually the way they power Walt Disney World. The solar farm is just for show. It's not actually hooked up to anything. They're just powering Walt Disney rolling over in his grave with every move that they make.
So half of that is true and half of it is in jest. They do not power any of Disney with the solar farms. Those are leased out by Duke Energy. And Marvin, they're not connected in any way. They go to the broader grid. Yep. But I love when people will think that Disney World is powered by solar because Disney says it is. And it's like, no, go read the teeny weeny itsy bitsy 4-point font in italics that they hide at the bottom of that every single time. And you'll find out.
They make sure that when you're driving down World Drive heading toward the Magic Kingdom, you see that giant solar farm in the shape of the Mickey head. And you could be like, oh, look how environmentally conscious they are.
Yep. Doug Wilkerson, member for 18 months. Thanks for the 18 months, bud. Great content. Y'all rock. Well, Doug, you rock right back. Thank you for rocking along with us, folks. Let's rock it one more time. We got an interesting conversation ahead. And just so our panel knows where we're going, Steven Spielberg has been in charge of 3, count them 3 huge flops. His last 3 films all dropping down and costing studios a ton of money. Let's talk about, is it the end of Spielberg? Is it the end of Steven Spielberg? Well, some are saying that it just might be, at least when it comes to getting big budget films. And why? Well, take a look at this. The last 3 films that Spielberg has put out, including his finale as of late, the anti-faith film Disclosure Day, West Side Story in 2021, which gave us Rachel Zegler. Thank you, Steven. We appreciate that. So, no, really, truly, here on this channel, it made us a lot of money that you gave Zegler the spotlight. Only $76 million. It was an omen for Zeg. $76 million worldwide. What was the budget listed at for this one? Production budget of $100 million. You all know those budgets are not actual costs. Usually it exceeds. And if you include marketing, it's probably around $200 million at least. That would be, give it a break even of $400 million. $76 million is all that it had. What about The Fabelmans? Came out in 2022. Many of you out there are hearing that and you say, what the heck is The Fabelmans? Well, that's because nobody went to go see it. But it was his 2022 return after Zegler made $43 million at the worldwide box office. If we go down to the budget, at least this one's more reasonable. $40 million. If we say that it had a 1-to-1 on marketing, it's $80 million. That means it needed $160 to break even. Probably higher than that, but whatever. I mean, we're still at, it made 1/4 of what it needed. And finally, folks, here we are today. Steven Spielberg, the man behind Jaws, the man behind Indiana Jones, the man behind Jurassic Park, and so much more. $170 million is where Disclosure Day stands at this moment on a production budget of $115. I'll guarantee you that if you combine that with marketing, it's going to be at least $200 million, which means it has a break even of $400. And even the trades have been saying that to justify it, it needs $300 million. Notice the language. They're not saying what it needs to break even or make a profit. To justify. Christian, I go to you first on this one. Steven Spielberg is a name everybody knows and everybody has an expectation, but in the last 6 years, that expectation has not been met. He's getting up there in years, and I just wonder, do you believe that the name Spielberg means that studios will still give him the cash to make a blockbuster if he so wishes? Or did this anti-faith film Disclosure Day sort of seal the door shut, and will people now say to him, you know, Spielberg, why don't we do some artsy-fartsy award-chasing things instead?
It's a tough call. I mean, I think he's going to have more room, more leash than almost any other filmmaker. But having said that, we saw Warner Brothers kick Clint Eastwood to the curb a couple of years ago when Number 2 came out. So, studios can be cold and cutting, and they can look at you and say, yeah, what have you done for me lately? I think my bigger issue is more of an artistic one. The Fabelmans was fine. It wasn't amazing. It wasn't a great Spielberg movie, but it was a competently assembled story. It was interesting. It was engaging. There's no real stain on his legacy, and it was never going to make a zillion dollars. So that's fine. But just watching Disclosure Day is such a mess. And the fact that it was from a Steven Spielberg story, I think from a creative point of view, that scares me more. Yeah, I think he won't have carte blanche. There may be some questions. I think he's in such rarefied company, and I think there's so much goodwill that he'll have some wiggle room. But, even they've cut down on Scorsese's budgets over the years. I mean, he had to go to Apple and Netflix to get some of their big budget projects made. So, yeah, he could be the budget crunch moving forward. Maybe that's the best thing. Maybe he doesn't really both warrant all that money, but also maybe it'll make him a little more creative, a little feistier, perhaps. I don't know.
Yeah, so I think that Disclosure Day, obviously, yes, is 100% anti-religion, and it really just is a very bad X-Files episode. But
that's the best thing I've heard to describe this. I'll be honest. That's the best way to describe it.
Really is. But the thing is that Steven Spielberg has a net worth of $7 billion. He is a behemoth. And so Hollywood doesn't want to say bye-bye to somebody who has created such influential movies that we still talk about and know and love today, and that ultimately still make money with merchandise.
He's such an interesting director because, as I've said, I'm not rooting against him. He made my favorite movie of all time, which is Bridge of Spies. And yet he also made my least favorite movie of all time, which is Artificial Intelligence from 2001, which I left that theater and said, please, never let me have to sit through something like that again. I mean, it was so depressing in every possible way. But the last 5 or 6 years of Spielberg's career have been depressing in every single way. I will say, and Marv, you tell me what you think about this. Marv, did you see Disclosure Day?
No, I made the decision. I was going to go see it to review it for geeksandgamers.com, but instead I made the decision to go review The Furious instead. And that was the single greatest decision I've ever made in my life.
Yeah, you've raved about that, so have others. I've got to see it too. Disclosure Day to me, every lens flare is pure perfection where it's placed. Every shot is amazing. The choreography is tremendous. The alien language thing Emily Blunt does, I could do that too, and it's not all that impressive. But everything else is just amazing. But the story is terrible, and it seems like he was behind the story, and it's just so third grade kind of, but thinking it's amazing, and then doing this thing about how it's going to shake people's faith, and is like, with this? Yeah. You're going to shake people's faith with this? And it was like from 20 years ago in terms of how it thinks the world works with media, and where you would actually go to disclose this kind of thing and how the world would react. Marv, it just seems so out of touch.
Yes.
So it seems to me like if Spielberg's going to have a future at all, it's got to be with somebody else, not necessarily somebody that he's working with, but somebody that has been assigned to him, a script that has been made, a screenplay that's been made that somebody else thinks is amazing. They say, make this, because you still got it behind the camera, but you don't have it in the manufacturing of everything else.
I think it's not long before Steven Spielberg is making streaming movies the way Martin Scorsese is. I think that you're going to get him. He's going to make all his artsy-fartsy stuff on Netflix where you don't actually know how well it does, and just going to hide behind that for the end of his career. The guy's 79 years old. He doesn't need to be doing this anymore. And like you said, he's a billionaire. So, I mean, he could, live out the rest of his life just, talking about E.T. and Jaws and Jurassic Park. But, he's clearly not content to do that. I mean, but how many studios are going to invest tens to hundreds of millions of dollars in this man going forward? Even though he's Steven Spielberg, it doesn't bring in the people anymore. I don't think the younger generation see him as, in the same way that we see him. They see Christopher Nolan, and they're wrong, as the new Steven Spielberg. But I mean, it is Christopher Nolan in his arrogance stated in The Dark Knight. You either, I'll paraphrase, you either retire a hero or you live long enough to see yourself become the hack. And I think that's kind of where we're at with Spielberg right now.
As much as you can feel sorry for a multi-billionaire, I feel sorry for him because I think, Christian, he really thought this movie was a masterpiece, and it feels like he spent years on it, and this was his big final Aliens thing to make us all think, and it just came across so amateurish in terms of not the delivery, but the content itself.
Yeah, in every way. It's the kind of movie that you watch it, and even if you get a modicum of entertainment value from it, the more you think about it, the more it just crumbles upon even the most cursory inspection. I like what you said about sort of him having a handler. I almost think like James Cameron should have that too, to a degree, because he's a genius at what he does, but his dialogue and some of his storytelling is so infantile. If he collaborated with someone and used his specific skills, that would make an incredible film. I think with Spielberg, because he's got such chops behind the camera, he can still deliver, but he doesn't have the other sort of skills have atrophied, I guess. It's very sad, but imagine the nervous, jittery, shaking executive who has to knock on Mr. Spielberg's door to say, you can't get that budget. We turned you down.
Well, it's going to have to be Josh tomorrow, at Disney, because he's the guy who said, "Oh, Jim Henson's final work inside our parks. Yeah, we'll just crater that sucker, and who cares?" Vera, last question goes to you, and I'm very interested in what you might think about this. I wonder, does this give pause now to studios? Because this film was marketed as something that would cause people to question their faith, etc. You think that's going to be a marketing ploy? They say, no, we pass on that going forward. Or do they just not get it in Hollywood?
I think if it was their overall plan and they greenlit a lot of different projects like this, then they'll continue to barrel forward with those plans. It's sort of like in the video game industry. Everybody hates live service games. Everybody rejects live service games. And yet we're going on a decade of live service games being pushed just because development times are so long, companies are so set in their ways. And so I don't think that one movie failure would really change that. But obviously, I think that this is just a general narrative and theme that people are going to continue to reject.
There you go, folks. Disclosure Day did not cause people to question their faith, but it did cause everybody to question their faith in Steven Spielberg as a director who can still deliver in the ways he once did. And there you have it, ladies and gentlemen, another podcast of pure excellence brought to you from somewhere sunny USA, the studio glistening because you're listening to what we have to say, and now we're listening to you. There can be only one, a.k.a. the Highlander for 5. Recall. One of the two women in New York that won their primary flat out said that she wanted to dismantle Western civilization.
She did.
Well, that'll go well. That'll go real well. And by the way, she'll almost certainly win the general election. Because that's the way New York works. And California. Packing protons for 2. You get a 2 for there, Packing. Thank you, Packing. All right, folks, before we're packing things up here, Christian, tell the folks out there where they can find you and what you're up to on this great, big, beautiful web.
Yeah, you can find all things that I'm writing at HollywoodInToto.com. My podcast is the Hollywood in Toto podcast. I have a new double episode this week with 2 different interviews. Lou Perez, great comedian, and Chris Fenton, a crackerjack producer, has had some interesting experiences making films for the Chinese market, and he shares more about that. And also, you can find me at hotair.com, at the New York Post, at The Blaze, at the Daily Wire, at justthenews.com as well.
All right, and Vera, I believe everybody should be going over to Dark Titan Media. Is that where they should go?
Yes, so my main YouTube channel is Veridark Dark Titan Media. My secondary channel is Veridark Reviews. I am always doing something on YouTube. I live stream video games Tuesdays, Thursdays, Saturdays, Sundays, 7 p.m. Eastern. Tonight I'll be live streaming Star Fox, just came out today. Monday nights is the FML podcast with Ryan Kinnell at 9 p.m. Eastern. Wednesday nights is the Vera and Virtue show at 7 p.m. Eastern. And then I upload 2 to 3 videos a day talking about video games and movies and all the BS that we have to deal with.
Phenomenal stuff. And of course, everybody get over there and subscribe today. Marv, M4 Empire, is doing fantastic. You've also been on that Game Place. And tonight, you and I are reviewing Supergirl.
Supergirl, yeah. So we just, Wizard and I on Monday just had a great interview with Dean Cain. The full interview is up as a standalone video, and we had a we talked about all things Supergirl, James Gunn, the psychology behind Superman, and what is missing from modern Hollywood interpretations. So go check out that interview with Dean Cain. It was a whole lot of fun. And then last night, you could check out the replay, guys. We did a late night stream on that Game Place. last night where we streamed Star Fox the second it came out. I took you through my old 12-year-old Nintendo 64 path that I typically go through, and we're going to be streaming it again on that game place in the near future where we're going to do the hard path.
Awesome stuff, awesome stuff. All right, folks, awesome is all we do because we love to do it for you. Juliet, we thank you very much. Mod Extraordinaire sending us out of here with a like, subscribe, and share. That's right, folks, and if you see that notification bell, click it and stick it to the algorithms. Ladies and gents, boys and girls, keep all arms, legs, feet inside the vehicle at all times as your pro show shall return. And in between now and then, we've got another video on the way. Talking about the kid who fell out of Splash Mountain, Tiana's Bayou Adventure, plummeting 50 feet at Disneyland. Will they install security now? We'll let you know. Stay tuned for that one. It's, it's one that is going to plunge your heart as you see the video. Uh-oh, that was a little dark. Folks, we'll see you real soon.
The mainstream media just can't understand how it is we continue to do what we do. They don't realize that we are powered by you, and you are...
1.21 gigawatts! 1.21 gigawatts!
Folks, we've still got decades and decades left in the can. It drives the mainstream mad.
Would it make you feel any better if you knew that what we're asking Matt here to do is a holy thing?
You see, we're on a mission from God. We're on a mission from God.
Now you're gonna put me right back in the joint.
They're not gonna catch us. We're on a mission from God.
So, folks, as we always say as we end each and every show here, and we mean it, keep learning, keep growing, and as always, keep having fun.
Every time they hit him, he stood back up again. So they hit him harder. Still, he got back to his feet. Standing man.
Jonas is back. Had to bring him back. Back in the groove. Jonas is back. He's back. He's back. He's back. Oh, let him shine. Jonas is back. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Had to bring him back. Jonas is back. He's back. He's back. He's back. Oh, let him shine. Little baby born on the brownstone steps. Harlem hit him with the right kind of death. No matter in the world where he goes away, can't take the soul out of his way. Jonas is back, had to bring him back, had to bring him back, back in the groove. Jonas is back, he's back, he's back, he's back. Oh, let him shine. Jonas is back, yeah, yeah, yeah. Had to bring him back. Jonas is back, he's back, he's back, he's back. Oh, let him shine. Pipes made for radio, pro show will do. Breaking down the Hollywoods, break it down anew. Not a single day does our very own forget. Hudson River flow is where his path was set. Jonas is back, had to bring him back, had to bring him back, back in the groove. Jonas is back, he's back, he's back, he's back. Oh, let him shine. Jonas is back, yeah, yeah, yeah. Had to bring him back. Jonas is back, he's back, he's back, he's back. Oh, let him shine. Morgan Freeman was born in Memphis. Diana from Detroit. But hey, looking up from Manhattan, Jonas is a hit it, big boy. Jonas is back, had to bring him back, had to bring him back, back in the groove. Jonas is back.